what's up everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Resident Roleplay. This is a show where a group of friends and I get together and play a homebrewed tabletop RPG set in the world of Resident Evil. I'm your host and GM, and welcome back everybody.
Yep.
Hey.
Hello.
Alrighty.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Apologies for the late start. Had to do some last minute prep and whatnot, but here we are.
Yeah, to do the entire session.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
What is this?
Dang it, I should have done that.
Mel just subscribed. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I guess before the stream started, or rather during the stream, but before we started rolling here, we had a couple other subscriptions. Brenny the Dragon Slayer subscribed for the second month in a row. Thank you very much for that. And Ilo also put in a subscription. So thank you both. Or all three.
All three of you did second month in a row, looks like.
Oh, snap. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, this is continuing the train.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Continuing the train from last month.
Choo-choo, bitch.
All right. Well, thank you again very, very much. That's amazing. So, with that being said, are we ready to get into things?
Yeah, let's do it.
Only hype train that's good is Trans-Siberian train.
By the way, do you all hear the music?
Wait. Let me turn
It
up
might
my
just be quiet.
headphone.
I can hear it, yeah.
But, okay,
I can hear it.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear it.
sweet.
Very light though, but
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Normal.
I hear it.
All right.
Baby.
So,
Baby.
previously on Resident Roleplay, the bioterrorist group known as the Manifold, led by Elliot Walker, has launched a series of bioweapon attacks as part of Walker's plans to infect the world. In turn, you gathered allies and led an assault on their headquarters at Manifold Tower. After defeating their forces, you entered the tower and cleared the first few floors. On the second floor, you found the door to an armory with a square hole beside it. You seem to lack the means of opening it. On the third floor, you found a garden where medicinal herbs were being grown. However, while exploring, you were ambushed by a large invisible plant creature, the likes of which you had never before encountered. With it, a horde of plant monsters, the Ivies, emerged from the foliage. After defeating these BOWs, you checked another door in that chamber, which seemed to be locked with a circular hole beside it, which you also lacked the means of opening. So, being unable to progress any further there, you left the garden behind and began marching for the fourth floor. So, your footsteps echo as you ascend the stairs. Above you, see one final landing exiting to the fourth floor before the stairwell ends at a ceiling.
I'm trying to pull up the floor map again.
Yes, I gave you guys a floor plan between last session and this one because, as I'd mentioned, the party had seen a sort of monitor that had the entire floor plan on it on the first floor. And, so that way anybody could have easily snapped a picture or something of that. So I wanted you guys to have access to the names of all of the different floors. It goes from B2 all the way up to the 30th floor.
It's in character. I was looking at.
Oh.
I was looking on the assets tab. It's in character.
Probably no, I don't know if that belongs in assets. I feel like
Either way.
Yeah. Nonetheless, what are you guys up to?
We're still we're heading up there.
Yep.
Okay, so you said we're coming up to a ceiling. So there's the flat top.
Yeah. There's the landing with the door to the fourth floor, and then it's just ceiling after that.
Yeah. So this
No
is the
more
first
stairwell.
one we found. First one with a ceiling.
Yeah. Well, the stairwell is just continuous, right? It just circles upwards until this point.
Until this point. Yeah.
So yeah, if you look down the middle of the stairwell, you could see all the way back down to floor B2 where you come from.
Yeah, so we're in the chemical labs now. Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
All right. We do see a door.
Yep.
Go do my usual check up. Go up, check the door, check under and around it.
All right. Investigation check.
Minimum of a freaking lot. 21.
Oh yeah, you should be fine. So the door is not locked. It doesn't appear to be trapped in any sort of way. I mean, you see the usual, again, like I said, you've been seeing like surveillance cameras at pretty much every corner of every floor. So those are obviously continuing as you go upwards here. But the door itself does not appear to be locked or trapped, as near as you can tell with your instruments. Yeah. You slip your optic cable beneath the door, and on the other side you see what looks to be a massive chamber spanning the next 11 floors. At the center of the chamber is an immense industrial mezzanine rising 6 stories in height. And along the wall to another side is a series of catwalks climbing the entire chamber with a number of doors at each level. You also see a ton of people. This is a very busy area. Traversing the mezzanine at various levels, you see all sorts of moving figures in white lab coats.
Okay. I'm getting some echo.
Oh. Where's the echo coming from?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? I was getting echo earlier. What happened? Anyway. All right. So I think I saw some of this stuff when I was here last. We've got basically a giant cylindrical, hollow couple of floors. Once we enter, we're gonna be here for a while. They're all connected.
All right. Well,
Do you see anybody in there?
There's a buttload of people. Y'all loaded?
Bad guy people?
Everyone's a bad guy here.
All right, I kicked the door open.
By the way, I was like, everyone's a bad guy here, and step to the side. just like as you were.
First guy I see gets blasted.
All right.
So door in.
No way.
And then the dude just like their hands up. I'm lighting him up anyways.
I was just saying. I am seeing what I'm sure are a bunch of just ganados, right?
Yeah, so you can't tell, they just look like humans, but they
what I'm sure are a bunch of ganados.
You assume.
Okay.
But yeah, they look like just a bunch of scientists going about. But Chauncey, you kick the door and it opens outwards. And you rear up your gun. You enter. You see the same view that Mr. G had seen previously. And again, you see this massive industrial mezzanine at basically the center of the chamber. And again, you see a bunch of different lab coats traversing the few levels of it. But at the ground level, there's just one guy walking across the floor towards it. As you kick this door open, he looks at you with like this clipboard in hand and just stares at you dead-eyed.
Boom.
Make an attack roll. In fact, as you kick this door open, just all eyes from the central structure just look in that general direction. But this guy's just right front and center. Poor fella.
Yeah, I'm also going to just use the Magnum. So I'm going to kick the door and I pull the Magnum out, one hand just boom, just whatever's in front of me.
All right. Go ahead and roll for an attack against them, and then I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Yep.
Chauncey's gonna be the death of me.
Oh
Quite
no!
literally.
I didn't even get to heal.
Quite literally.
Neri's at 28 hit points.
I'm at 26. Don't complain.
18.
Okay, fine.
I mean,
But-
y'all don't have to walk into the room. Y'all could still be in the
Yeah, I mean,
hallway
they
real
only
quick.
know that I'm there
You know what?
at the moment.
Yeah, because at the moment, Chauncey's in the room. The rest of us are in the hallway. So, like, anybody able to fight could go in. Anybody could stay out and heal real quick.
And for
So
initiative-
basically, it's just gonna be like Chauncey goes in, Mr. G turns around, and it's just like, we'll be right back. So the two martial characters going, and it's just like, bah, 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 bah. 10 minutes later, okay, you can come in now. You're good. You're good. I got holes in me. I got holes where there ain't supposed to be holes.
Wait, I can still.
Just fires a hyper gun into the hole.
Just blind fire happen. I was like, ah.
Yeah, even so,
What was that?
everybody
Speaking
can
of-
just roll initiative.
Yeah.
Speaking of using, your hypo gun.
It sounds like something that should have been done before you kicked the door open.
As I'm kicking the door, I'm expecting a little poke
I'm
in
not
the back.
steroiding you just to kill a bunch of weak-ass scientists.
I mean,
It'll make it go by faster.
it would make it go by a lot faster.
Yeah, but is it really worth spending another steroid?
How many do you have?
No.
I mean,
There was
Yeah.
only like 5
I-
left.
I have 4 left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. That's 3 for Walker.
Yeah, but
You-
we
I'm just
still have
saying,
like
like-
20 more floors.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that's n minus 1 for Walker every floor.
Yeah, no.
there's 6 floors being taken in this one go, is what I'm thinking. So, I mean, we're knocking 6 of them out.
Anyway,
Okay. So, what are the
I'll try
initiatives?
craft more.
Initiatives?
G
20. Oh, sorry.
G11.
Hit. You sunk my battleship. Chauncey, 26.
It's sad that I knew what you meant when you said hit.
All right.
Oh, guitar is 17.
Neria 19.
Kevin, 23.
Plus, like, the word chemical labs. You know, the things that you make these steroids with.
That's true. We're gonna clear
That's
the
what
room.
I mean. I said I was going to try craft more,
Okay.
but I don't want to spend more in case I fail all the craft.
We're gonna
I mean,
clear
this
rooms.
is-
You guys just stay close behind and start crafting. we're just gonna clean it out. It's just gonna be.
I'm gonna
Martial
kill
train.
everybody. We are gonna kill everybody that's in this room, and then I'm gonna take me a long rest while you guys dig through 6 feet, 6 floors of chemicals that I could care less about.
Y'all are about to come out at the end of this, like permanently roided.
So,
Yeah,
before we get into the initiative order,
That's
go
the
ahead
idea.
and roll your attacks, Chauncey. Or your
I did roll the attack. It was an 18.
18 against the guy. That hits.
Oh, that was your
Oh.
attack. Okay.
Yeah. That's I rolled it first,
Yeah. Okay. I see.
and
your other one.
then he said, "Then I need everybody to roll initiative," and then I rolled the initiative.
Yeah, so we'll say you get that, I guess, one
I get-
round in, so you get 2 attacks.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you want, I can re-roll it. Doesn't
No,
matter
no,
to
it's
me.
fine.
Okay.
It's a
I'm
surprise.
just,
round.
yeah, that's the surprise round. I'm just retroactively heading back to that.
Here. 20.
20. Yeah, this guy is blown away with a single shot. You floor him, and he doesn't get back up.
Is there anybody else like on this level?
There looks to be one guy on kind of the first level of the mezzanine that is right behind him, a good distance.
I have a plan, guys.
Oh, you?
Yeah, so
All bad plans start with "I have a plan."
this is a good one. I have this thing called spray and pray. If I can funnel them all into one little cone, I can light them all up in one go.
And how are you going to do that?
I'ma just yell, "Come and get me, you sons of bitches!" And then I'm gonna
Sure,
ask
yeah,
everybody to
sure.
hold their actions. So, can I hold my? No, I can't hold my extra attack.
No, yeah,
Damn
you
it.
could only
Well,
hold
remember
a whole
this
action.
is your surprise round.
Yeah,
too.
so you're about to
Oh,
get your
okay.
turn right
Might as well
after.
just
Yeah.
pop
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Surprise round. I'm just gonna pop the nearest guy again.
All right.
Magnum.
Hitting that guy behind him. This one does not have a clipboard.
Oh,
Still
well,
hits.
that dude's dead too. 27. Oh, it's almost crit, by the way. Damn it.
Oh.
And I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Mega hits.
Yeah. Ooh, mega hits. That I might have to start rolling headshot. 15.
All right, another guy. Another spatter of blood stains his white lab coat red, and he does like an HK fall and clangs off of some metal beams around him, and then hits the ground.
All right. So now top it around, right?
Yep. So that brings us to your turn, Chauncey.
Okay. I'm gonna be like hollering the whole time too, trying to drive as many people. Like how many people do I see
Make a
with a
perception
close
check.
proximity? Okay. Yeah. Ooh, 14.
I guess situational awareness would technically apply.
Oh, yep, situational awareness. 21.
Okay, yeah, you get a pretty good look. Nobody's particularly hiding near as you can tell. They all kind of, again, stare dead-eyed in your direction as soon as you kick the door. And after those two shots go off, you just see a bunch of mandibles come out of some of their mouths of some of the individuals on the mezzanine as they just hiss at you, just and start running full bore down the stairs of this structure to get back down to your level. There looks to be about close to 15 more.
Have I seen this style of BOW with the everything coming out of its mouth? That sounds weird. Oh,
Yes, you have. You have.
I have.
These are, yeah. All the Maginis and stuff that you have fought so far in this arc, all of the Plaga-infected humanoids have had that same trait.
I think we kill them too fast.
Yeah, well, you got
Straight to me.
bitten. You got bitten by some of those back in Port Warren.
Yeah, I don't pay. I know they're enemy. I don't pay attention to their mouths.
Yeah,
That's a me problem.
They were sucking on you.
I'm not worried about getting eaten.
Yeah?
Yeah, ever.
I mean,
Poor king.
you're worried about not getting eaten, though.
I'm never worried about getting eaten.
No, you're worried about not getting eaten.
Yeah, that it concerns me whenever you don't try to eat me. So I like they just running like straight pathing down the steps, or some of them like jumping off down the floor, anything like that, like any kind of crazy, World War Z kind of shit.
No, it looks like they're all taking the stairs for the most part.
Is it just one flight of steps that they have to come down, or is there multiple different staircases?
It looks like the bulk of them are on like the second floor, so they are the second level of that mezzanine structure, so they only have to come down one. There's a few on the third floor that have a couple flights.
But
to
I
go
mean,
down,
like, is there only one staircase?
No, they're kind of
Like-
different stairs on each level that lead down. They kind of have to transfer one to another.
Yeah. So, but I mean, there's only one staircase to get from the floor we're on to the next floor up. Right.
Technically, there's more than one if you want to count the catwalks on the other side of the room.
Okay.
But to where we are now at the stairwell, they all eventually funnel here. There's no way they can get behind us, right? Or to
Yeah.
the sides.
There's no other staircases
yeah.
that they could come down.
Yeah, they'd have to go in a straight line towards you.
I'm gonna go up the steps. If they have to come to the steps, we're gonna go up the steps. And first dude I see, I'm gonna go ahead and pop him off. So I want to see how mega hit. how much a mega hit is. No, not yet. I'm gonna roll another magnum shot.
All right. So, okay. So, a quick point of clarity: you're moving up at this point.
Yeah, I will go up the steps.
Okay, so you're heading towards the staircase.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I'm just gonna fire off at the first person I can get a shot off at. That's an enemy.
Okay. Yeah, there does seem to be someone in view right at the top of the steps.
Mm-hmm. So I'll pump that dude.
All right. And it'll take about half your movement, maybe 15, 20 feet to get to that staircase from where you're at.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll. Oh, that was your attack 26 against them. That
26.
mega hits.
And 26.
You rolled the same on the attack and damage roll. Yeah, you blast him. Another huge spray of blood stains the metal scaffolding behind him, and that figure goes down.
Can I make it to the top of the steps in 15?
Yeah, you would be able to.
Okay. And when I get to the top, is there like a bunch coming at me now?
Let's see. You see about 3 in pretty close proximity that are pretty near to you.
Okay, switch from that to saw.
All right.
And I'm gonna go ahead and spray and pray.
All right.
Get 3 of them out of the way.
So they need to make mobility saves.
Yeah, is it that don't I still have to attack? Did we figure that out last time?
Yeah, it does. It does expend.
Okay, just saves.
Yeah, it does expend one of your attacks, but yeah, they make saves against the damage. And you have to expend a maneuver point as well, which I assume you have.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because you
get whatever
initiative. Yeah. All right, so that's your one for the fight. First one is 4, fails. 6, 9, or rather 6.
Nice.
That, I was looking at the dice on the side, but that was upside down.
So
6.
They all fail.
Yep. So they take full damage from
pretty
miss.
miserably.
Yeah, they're very miserably. Let me see. It is 5, 4 plus 5. 21.
Yeah, so you take out your saw and, like Sylvester Stallone and Rambo, just spray and pray with it, unloading a hail of lead that mows these 3 down.
And
yeah, they all go down for the count.
yeah, that's it from me. Yeah. That's
All right. So, at the end of your turn, that brings us to Kevin is up next.
Okay. Well. So, if I take a look in right now, I basically just see Chauncey mowing his way through a small army of scientists, right?
Basically, yeah. You see him running up the steps to the second level of that big metallic structure in the center of the room. And he's kind of cut off a bit, obscured by cover from the sort of hip-high railings on the side of this structure. But, yeah, you do see the action that's going on over there as he's just switched to his LMG and is just...
all you've seen is flashes of light.
Yeah, muzzle flashes everywhere.
Well, I'm gonna take out. Okay, do I see any scientist he hasn't hit yet?
Yeah, you see tons, but again, they all have some cover to you because of the structure that's in the way. I'd give them half cover, but you do have a pretty clear bead on a bunch on that same level. Actually, at this angle, because it's a higher level too, actually it would be extra difficult.
But it's not that much movement to get to the second level.
Yeah. So yeah, they would have 3/4 cover against you right now.
All right. So what I'm gonna do right now is, okay. First off, I'm going to use mental prep on myself.
All right. So you mentally prepare yourself.
Yeah. And that is okay. It's 3 times.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
Yeah,
it's 10
that's
last
what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it twice.
Okay, I'm
What,
gonna
how many
use.
though?
So you have 10
I'm gonna
temporary
use-
hit points.
I do not.
I'm gonna use that, and I am going to, if I can, bonus action dash.
All right. That will also take a will point. So you have enough will points for the both of those? Left over?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you used a couple will points last time, so be sure to
Yeah,
be keeping
yeah.
track of those.
Yep.
So that's 2 will points. So you mentally prepare yourself and you bonus action dash, so you've got 60 feet of movement. So with that, you could get well up to the 2nd floor and even bypass Chauncey if you so choose.
I'm just gonna find some cover and get behind it.
Okay, yeah, heading up the stairwell, and each of these levels, the central structure seems to contain the laboratory, in essence. So it's full of all sorts of tables and desks and laboratory equipment, various chemical mixing tools, and flasks and things of that nature. So there's all sorts of stuff to take cover behind.
I'm gonna knock one of those desks down and take cover behind it.
All right. So yeah,
And
that is your action and bonus action. So that's everything you can do, right?
Yep, that's the end of my turn.
All right. So Kevin's up on that 2nd floor now. Nuria, you're up next. Do we have an area?
So there,
Nope, there.
we have an area. So whereabouts is everyone right now?
Kevin and Chauncey are both up on the 2nd level of the mezzanine. This sort of large structure that's in the center of this massive chamber that spans 11 floors. And I think everybody else is in the stairwell. Still.
Yep, G hasn't.
Yep.
G opened it or stood aside and it's just like, there he went.
I was gonna heal Kevin first, but Kevin's gone. So
He's gone, dude. He dashed.
I'm gonna do.
By the way, did you adjust Kevin's hit points just now from that temporary HP on Roll20?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say,
it's
because
not
technically,
HP.
yeah, it's not hit points. So you don't get a heal from that. They're temporary hit points, and that's
It goes
technically a
on
different
top
thing.
of your HP.
Yeah,
It's like a shield.
essentially, yeah. So
If true,
just make a note of that. But your HP is still technically at the same amount.
if treat wounds is efficient use, if I use treat wounds at tier 2, that's still efficient. Is it like 1 or would it be 2?
The efficient use would still apply. It's just that you could only freely cast it a limited number of times. So the higher cost would be reduced still.
Okay, and would that count as my like I can only use it up to my initiative? Not my initiative, my intelligence?
No, that's just the number of times that you could cast it freely. If it comes at a cost, you could cast it as many times as you have resources.
Okay. Let me check real quick. At high tiers, okay, so an additional 2d. Oh, that's 3d8. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's doing 3d8 T2 treat wounds on herself.
All right. So as everybody's charging in, you're just staying behind the stairwell, pulling out your med kit, wrapping yourself up.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's a nice heal.
There you go.
Nice.
That's like the best heal I've done so far.
Hold on, what's that +8 from?
Oh wait, that was meant to be a 5.
Oh, okay. So it's 21 hit points.
-3, 21.
All right. So you give yourself a solid heal, pulling out all of your medical expertise and applying all the gauze and painkillers and what have you from the med kit.
And that's the end of her turn.
All right. Next up, a couple of researchers that are up on the 3rd floor are going to start making their way down. These two seem to be a little bit distinguished from the others. They have much longer lab coats and seem to be carrying a good variety of gear and various chemical mixing products on their person. They start making their way down the stairs, and they get down to the 2nd level of that structure, and they see all the chaos that's ensuing there, and Chauncey shooting up the other scientists and Kevin flipping over tables, and they're going to start to intervene. And since you cleared a little bit of an area of enemies around your area, you're kind of just the two of you on that side of the structure at the moment. And so they are actually going to start casting in your general direction. So one of them is going to pull this sort of makeshift combination of vials from his belt and chuck that over to your side, which shatters on the ground, and as the chemicals mix, they ignite and cause a bit of a fireball on that side. Chauncey, I need you to make a mobility saving throw. And Kevin, I also need you to make a mobility saving throw with advantage because of your cover. Or rather, not with
Did you
advantage.
just cast Fireball?
Volatile reaction that he just casted.
Basically Fireball.
But actually not advantage for Kevin. It was, I think for cover you get, you just get your cover bonus. It would be half cover, so it'd be +2. So plus your mobility save modifier +2.
Oof.
Ooh.
Oof.
Ooh. Those are really low numbers. Those are the two lowest numbers you could have rolled that aren't 1.
So you both
I
fail
know.
and take
Please don't die. Please don't die.
41
Oh,
points
no.
of fire damage.
You have temp HP.
You do have temp HP, so it's 31 for Kevin.
That puts me at -5.
All right. So as this fireball scorches the metallic structure in that area, some of the flames lick around the table, and the sheer force of it, as well as your clothes catching fire, blow you back, Kevin, and you hit the ground and are in quite dire straits. And Chauncey, you
You should have stayed near the one healer.
are standing there in the front lines. You tank this explosion, but it does catch your suit fire quite a great deal and knock you back. You stumble and right yourself, and you are lit ablaze and quite charred, but it seems you're still standing.
I quickly pat out my hair.
Yeah.
You don't have any eyebrows anymore.
Yeah, I got goggles on. They're good.
That's true.
And that other scientist is going to pull out a similar contraption, but instead of a couple of vials, it seems to be some sort of makeshift grenade type canister, which he's going to throw over in that direction. And it explodes in such a way that doesn't have as large of a radius, and instead of a massive fireball, it kind of detonates into this cloud of white mist that envelops Chauncey. Chauncey, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I know what this is, I think.
17.
17. All right, you succeed. So you take half of this damage,
Oh, I don't know what this is.
and
Static effect.
you are not frozen.
So that is
So 14 points
15?
of
Oh.
14 points of cold damage. This is always round down. And yeah, you feel this chill, this intense chill come over you. After burning for a little bit, you all of a sudden are practically flash frozen, but with the added power of your exosuit on top of your natural fortitude, you just hulk out of the ice and shatter what bits of frost cling at the corners of your body.
And this only affected me, right? It didn't
Yeah.
affect Kevin at all?
Kevin was
Okay.
out of range from that.
Okay, good.
The other one had a bigger radius. So that is going to be their. They're going to retreat back up the stairs to hide up on the third floor. So they're out of sight from you now.
There's 2 of these.
2 of these guys, and that's
2
going
of
to
these
be
long coats.
2 long coats, and that is going to be their turn. Next up is Katara.
All right, so seeing all that happen up above, you said they're on the 3rd floor and they're pretty much out of sight of all of us.
Yeah, if at that height, they would be well out of sight of you guys.
Okay. So I have 50 feet of movement. So I'm gonna just make my way up. Make my way up the stairs with the scar.
All right.
Let's see. I am gonna, if I have enough movement, get up to Kevin, and just kind of take a knee behind the table, that were there. So she's like posted up with a gun ready. She has nothing to get you up, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Get over here, Nuria.
you're just standing guard,
she-
basically.
She is a wall.
So so she's like knelt down, scar pointed forward, and what she's gonna do.
There are a few more
is I'm gonna
scientists on
have-
this level too, by the way. I should clarify. Of just the regular scientists.
I'm just a regular scientist.
Not-
How many
not
are
long
on
guns.
this? How many are on this level?
About
at
5
least
more
on-
remain.
Okay. Yeah, I should probably take these out so they don't hit you. Yeah, we're gonna start opening fire on the ones in front of us
All right.
because they haven't taken their turn yet, have they?
Not yet.
It was the long coats. All right, so yeah, take these guys out. So attempt to take these guys out so that way Kevin doesn't get in the brunt of some. Oh no, Chauncey's at red.
Oh, don't worry, baby. I'm good.
All right.
I say this every time and it backfires, but I'm good.
Yeah, Chauncey is looking quite severely injured.
I'm not gonna die. We're good. I never die.
You're not gonna die, but you might pass out.
All right.
Nah.
If this were an anime, he would have.
It'll keep moving.
First set going out at one of the closer scientists with the scar.
All right. Take your shot.
The wall. There's a 12 hit them.
That just hits.
Possibly.
Oh wow.
From here on out,
There we
boys.
go.
From here on out, boys. I'm in.
From here on out, boy.
As soon as I see this wobbly shot take place, I'm like, yep. All right.
19 piercing, just
All right, this guy's charging forward, and that burst of bullets comes at him, hits him dead in the chest, and he just and stumbles and falls to the ground. Down for the count.
She's just copying what she's seen from training on base.
Mm-hmm.
People behind cover. This is how you do it. And the next attack going out. Say 22.
Yeah,
Good night.
Uber hits.
16.
Yeah, also take that guy out. Another tango down. You load him up with bullets. Another spatter of blood, and he falls down.
How far is the next one away from me in terms of like range?
They're all within about 40 feet.
Oh no. Okay. I was like, if one was within 15, she was about to be like, fire!
No, Chauncey took out all the ones in that range.
Okay, so yeah, 2 of them are... Alright, yeah, so two of them down. So that's all she can do right now. So that'll be her turn.
Alright, so that ends Katara's turn. Next up is Mr. G.
Mr. G's up?
Yeah.
I thought I was last. The little ones haven't gone yet, technically.
Not yet.
The 2 big ones did.
Yes.
The 2 big ones went back up the stairs, and there are still, 3 on this level?
Yep.
The open center of this area, it's just open.
You're talking
that
about
core, like the middle of this.
Yeah, well, this whole chamber, is like wide open, and then all this combat is taking place on this massive structure that's erected in the middle of it. But outside of that, it's just open space.
How many floors?
On the mezzanine or on this chamber in general?
Or I was going to say the chamber in general.
The chamber in general is 11
floors. Right? 11 floors. It's 11 floors?
Yep.
Oh.
Goes from the 4th to the 15th.
Gotcha. So this...
But then
that's what I saw. Okay. All right. Okay. But the actual mezzanine itself is just 6 floors then?
Yeah, the actual mezzanine is floors 4 through 10, which contains all the laboratories.
The interior chamber, this goes up to prisons. After G ushers everybody else out, he's gonna walk in just slowly putting rounds into his rifle, and he looks up and he's like, I can see my house from here. He is going to... How tall are these floors? 10 feet, 10, 15 feet?
Yeah, in that sort of range.
From where I'm at, can I see the 2 long coats?
You cannot. Not on the 3rd floor. They're quite well obscured from there.
Okay.
Too high. And they've got that cover, again, there's railings all along the side that are completely solid.
Guys, how bad are we doing right now?
Kevin's down.
Yeah, Kevin. So I was gonna ask if I could have because I realized this, but I could have retroactively, unless we could see Kevin go down from the stairwell.
Yeah, you would have been able to see.
And you could hear him go down.
That's true. You would have been able to see Chauncey and Kevin partially from the stairwell. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's no need to call out Kevin's down because we could.
Yeah.
I mean, it is assuming that has been called out as soon as it happened.
Well, there was
I'm like, even though we're not talking about every word our character is saying, I'm assuming once we go into battle, it's just like tango left, tango right, dude up there. I saw a guy go behind cover. Yeah, like Kevin's down. Also,
when the explosion would have went over, I would have been like, oh, Kevin's down, and then cold. Kevin is down.
All right.
Yeah, Kevin down. Chauncey looking bad.
Nah, I'm fine.
I'm ziplining to the 3rd floor.
I've seen worse.
All right. You see the line go in an arc up to the railing on that level before clinging to that same railing and then going taut and then zipping you up towards it, and you flip over the edge and get onto the landing up there.
Cast a rail, do a gainer to get over the ledge.
Dope.
Land. Do I see the two long coats?
Yeah, you do your gainer, 3-point landing, and then look up as you do after a 3-point landing, because you're looking down when you land, of course.
You have to.
Yeah, and then you look up, you see the remaining lower rank scientists on this level, looks about 4 of them, and you do also see the 2 head researchers, or at least, more advanced researchers that seem to be beside them. and kind of directing their steps and, calling out and giving orders.
The two head researchers are calling orders.
Mm.
Oh. Okay. They're smart. Okay,
They
yeah.
are
So
smart.
what G's gonna do is he's just gonna like calmly wave to them and just be like, "Sup, fellas?"
And then you just see the researchers that are closest to you, the sort of lower ranked normal ones. They all kind of turn around and having seemingly not noticed you up to this point, and then just and then just growl at you with their plaga mandibles out. You seem to have got their attention.
Mr. G is gonna do this thing where he's just like very calmly walking, and he's gonna like pass behind a pillar and just disappear. My bonus action hide, and use my movement to try to get around to flank.
All right, make a stealth check. See how well you can
Minimum
pull
like 25.
pull this off.
The minimum's like 25 on a stealth check.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. So
Here's the roll, just in case you need it.
yeah, so you pull
The pillar, like the wind.
Yeah. Like straight up, as if a bus just passed by.
Yep. I make my own buses when there are no buses.
And the foremost assistant researcher with his mandibles out that just growled at you, just cocks his head, just super confused as to what he just saw, like some sort of illusion.
Is this the Spectre virus again?
I am the Spectre virus. You just don't know yet. Yeah, and then I'm using my movement to just kind of be out of the place they last saw me, and that's
All right. Yeah, a little
my action for the
Splinter Cell silhouette of your last known location is over on the other end.
Yep. It's in a cocky way.
Yeah, it's just piecing. All right.
Yep.
So that's Mr. G's turn. Next up, the remainder of these researchers are going to mull about. Well, those four up there are actually going to start looking for you.
Good. Okay.
They're a little fixated. They're like, what the heck? Where the heck did he go? All right, fan out.
Like,
Search
at
for
this
him.
point, they're more curious than like scared.
So let me just quickly roll all these out because there's only that dice just went places. Let me get another one.
That's just like, I'm not gonna find this guy.
when your dice cast Misty Step in Dimension Door.
Yeah,
Yep.
nope. So they search for a while. They spend their turn searching using their actions and fanning out over that third floor, but they do not find Mr. G.
I like to think that like while they're moving, I'm like moving around boxes, like perfectly perpendicular to them.
Oh yeah, there's this whole sneaky sequence going on up there as a bird's eye view would reveal how kind of silly it looks, but it's all tactical maneuvering and misdirection.
Floors 1 and 2, Modern Warfare. Floor 3, Splinter Cell.
Yeah, exactly. But those four are preoccupied. The three that are down on the level with Katara, Chauncey, and Kevin are going to advance their 30 feet of movement, get to within range of you. One of them is going to advance first and pull out a strip of magnesium, which they then light and burn in this blinding white radiant light. I need Katara to make a Constitution saving throw.
I haven't seen that in a long time, since like, oh no.
Wow. So
It does. So actually, what are the effects of the magnesium strip thing?
let's see. They are casting Blinding Flash.
I literally haven't seen this, I think, since like the first.
It's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
I think I was the last person
First
who
off-
used it.
First off, you take 1 flash damage. And you are
She's like,
blinded.
ooh.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, that's true. You've got blind sight. So,
Kevin's also blinded, but he's locked out.
So
actually,
the way
Kevin
that this-
actually also has to make a con save because
Oh no!
he's still conscious.
Oh, I shouldn't have done anything. Oh no, you take damage.
And because that doesn't absolve
Any
you.
damage.
Doesn't absolve
You said
you
it
from
was a
having to
con
make
save?
saves.
Yeah, it's a con save.
He drops the magnesium strip on your like leg.
In fact, you automatically fail strength and mobility saves. Okay, Kevin is
Oh,
fine.
okay, nice.
You do still take 1 point of flash regardless of the save. So you fail one death saving throw.
Ooh.
With -6.
Well, that's just you're technically still at 0. You can't go into negatives.
Yeah.
So you just fail one death saving throw.
I don't like that.
So in the way that this looks, can it just be like the flash goes off, Katara's just like and then just looks like she's blinded, and then she just looks over in that dude's direction,
With like eyes closed.
like eyes closed
yeah.
and everything, and just looks over at him and just smiles.
Dope. Eyes closed, you're blind ninja mode. So that's the first guy. The
He's
other
not
two
more powerful.
are going to advance with these canisters primed, and they're both going to cast Flame Spray, one at Katara and one at Chauncey. At Katara, 12 to
Nope.
hit. At Chauncey, 21 to hit.
Nope.
All right.
Wow.
So they
AC 22?
So the first the flame spray comes in, she just like in the direction she feels the heat just kind of like moves to the side, just out of the way.
Oh yeah, and you see them coming
Brings
too.
me back to room temperature.
Yeah, the flames lick against your armor, but amidst the cryogenic crusty frost that is still around you, it doesn't do as much damage as they were hoping. As for
Neo dodge and Asana.
As for Katara,
Yes.
you would have had advantage if it wasn't for that blind sight, but you are able to evade that as well. So that's going to end their turn. That brings us back up to Chauncey.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So, how many of these guys do I see in front of me?
See 3 of them.
Just 3 of them, huh? And then I know there's 2 that went up the steps, but that's all we have left now?
There's 4 of them up here with me, so there's 2 of the long coats and 2 of the regulars. Right?
No. 4 regulars, 2 long coats. So
Oh,
6
4
up there with
regulars,
you.
Oh,
Okay.
well, that I made a mistake.
I made a mistake. How far is it from where I'm at to the next set of steps?
Roundabouts 50, 60 feet.
Okay, so I'm gonna progress 30 feet.
All right. Well, the researchers that advanced on you would be in front of you less than that amount. They're within 15 feet, seeing as they cast flame spray on you.
Oh, those guys. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna
But you
pick
could
those
just
guys off first.
Okay, I was gonna say you could just run by them. You would provoke opportunity attacks, but
No, I'll murderate them first, and then I'm gonna progress forward.
all right, murderate.
So, gonna flip back to the Magnum. I'm gonna dump these fools. So, Magnum shot up.
Doesn't hit.
The
Also,
one thing
does that Magnum jam?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't jam, but you fire a shot, and amidst the flames and cold that are still enveloping you, you kind of have to fire somewhat blind out of it, and the shot goes wide and ricochets off a couple of metal tables and railings around you. That's shot numero uno.
Yeah. Are these guys like sort of in a straight line?
They're a little spread out, seeing as they're attacking so many different targets. But you could get to a position where you could probably line them up. You flank around the outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up to the very first one. And being that I already switched my weapons out, I'm just going to drop my magnum on the ground. I'm gonna pull out my Hydra.
All right.
And I'm gonna run right into his grill, and I'm gonna blast
All right.
this time.
What's happening?
Gonna die. That and just for purposes, I am still gonna roll headshot as well.
All right.
So 7. Yeah, 7.
You do have an advantage, but it doesn't really matter because you rolled that 20 on the first one.
Yeah, boy. The worst case scenario, this dude's obliterated. So, yeah. I don't even think my minimum he can survive.
No, definitely not. Not with headshot. Your minimum.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't roll any dice, your minimum would kill him.
Let's just do it. Even if I roll ones.
We always like to see the
worth
crit
it.
dice roll.
Oh, yeah.
So that puts 7. No, not 17. 15. 14. 14. No. So yeah, 17. Yeah, 17. Sorry. Boom. 57.
Yeah, and I believe the Hydra
Stellarino.
the Hydra has the evisceration feature as well.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So this guy,
he is not coming back.
not only is he dead, but he is in pieces. As Chauncey, with that 2-shot, just splatter off limb after limb with one shot after another, and chunks of him scatter across the ground behind him.
Did you know there's a place in a man's head that if you shoot it, it will blow up?
Can I do like a... So I ran up and I right hand shot this dude twice. So I'm like on the right hand side of him. And then I switch hands to the left hand and rolled like a back roll. And then I'm going to shoot the other guy if I'm within range.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like, boom, boom, boom. So this is, I'm going to be pulling off a... Am I within advantage range as well?
Not from this guy. You would have to use a little bit of movement.
I'll use that little bit of movement.
All right.
And then, yeah, so I'm rolling out toward his direction, and I'll just headshot
right.
again. "17."
17 hits.
Not as powerful as the last one, though, but...
I mean, you could roll the advantage if you want.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about it. I totally forgot about my advantage. Let me roll that.
Well, in either case,
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
we were
this
good.
individual is also disemboweled as you fire the one shot, and this one kind of comes at his back as he's over there trying to flame Katara, and he just gets sent crashing onto this flipped table. So he's just hanging over the edge with a hole shot clean through his chest. And Katara, you just see this guy flung over top of your cover, or with your blind sight, you see him at least, and is just hanging there now.
Can I reload my Hydra?
Yeah, with your bonus action.
Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and action surge, and I'm going to blast this last guy.
All right.
So can I get to him as well within movement?
Yeah, you would be able to.
Okay. And I'm going to roll off a headshot, and that's 2 shells again on this guy.
All right.
Are you kidding me? That's a terrible roll. Thank goodness for that. Oh, oh well. I mean, it's 12.
I mean,
Just hits. Just hits. Barely.
Obliterate. 43.
Yeah, once again, another one splatters across the metal floor of this structure.
As I'm doing these spins and I'm switching hands, just and I'm just like, get Kevin! Get Kevin!
Yeah, and you're just...
And I still want to progress forward whatever little bit of distance I can.
Oh yeah, you've got like 15 feet more after that.
Yep, and I'm just going for the step.
After that veritable death blossom.
And I also yelled, if I forget, make sure I grab my magnum. So get Kevin, make sure I don't forget my magnum. And then I ran up the steps.
All right. So you start heading in that direction. You make your way across the rest of this floor, but don't quite get to the steps yet. That ends Chauncey's turn. Next up is going to be Kevin. I need you to make a death saving throw.
Save? Yep. What's that? Constitution?
No, just a straight D20.
D20.
No modifiers.
It's one of the few straight D20 rolls in 5e.
Oh, that's a success.
That's a success. So mark one success.
1 and 1.
Okay.
Yeah, you got one success, one fail.
Oh, I can't really do anything else now, can I?
Yep.
Nope, that's the end of your turn.
Staying alive.
Gonna hope you don't die.
It's your turn next.
Yeah, Nuria,
Isn't it?
you're up.
Oh yeah. So, this is the first time I've tried to take someone out of dying. Do I need to roll like a medical check, or can I just
You
heal?
can heal.
Well, you need to
Okay.
get to me first.
Yeah.
So the way it works is you can stabilize somebody, I believe, with a medical check.
Mm-hmm.
But bringing their hit points to anything above, or to anything 1 or above, immediately revives them.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It has to be hit points. You can't give temporary hit points.
Yeah, temporary hit points. If they have temporary hit points, they'll still be down.
But they'll just have
flashbacks to the
temporary hit
dragon.
points.
Flash.
Yeah, who
okay.
was that who was just
Sorry.
sitting there with temporary hit points?
That was my character.
Was that you? Yeah.
I gave the dragon temporary hit points.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I don't want to put Nuria in danger, so she's gonna burn a section. Wait, no, he's on the second floor.
Yeah, you would have been able to see him partially, but because he's also knocked prone while dying, you cannot see him at all anymore.
Okay. She's
Don't
gonna
worry,
have to get out of her little hidey
I
hole.
cleared the whole floor. We're good.
Yeah,
I'm moving
you'll
up.
have to
You can
step
stroll up
over.
there.
You have to step over some bodies and some puddles of blood, but those are about the only hazards on the way.
Yeah, there are some
think
clear
you-
threats in this room that are not you.
I think you'll be able to get up the stairs and be out of danger range.
I mean,
There-
Star's there as well. She is human shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hide behind
Can I
her,
get
like,
up there
arms.
within 30 feet?
Yeah.
Get up there. I think
Chauncey,
Kevin is
Chauncey
running
got
right
to the
now.
top of the steps with 30 feet. So, yeah,
Okay.
Kevin would be very nearby to there.
Slightly forward.
Tara.
I'm gonna get over to Kevin, and I'm gonna do another treat wounds at second level, or second tier. 'Cause that's a really good heal, man.
All right, so you're going to tier 2 treat wounds him?
Yeah. Don't worry, Kevin, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, you get down and start applying some of your medical equipment from your med kit and manage to get him back up to 17 hit points.
Okay, I'm not doing that again. I'm just gonna hide or something. Oh, thank you. Saved my life.
That's what I'm here for.
All right, Kevin, you are hit by some healing fluids and you are back up to snuff. And Nuria, is that your turn?
That's her turn, and she's gonna make sure she's behind Katara.
All right. Next up is going to be the researchers. One of them is going to stay up on the second floor and join the others in searching for Mr. G. The other one is going to head down and start tackling the bigger threats. But he doesn't have any luck on searching for you, so he's just leading the blind up there.
Mm-hmm.
The other researcher in the long coat is heading down the stairs. Takes him about 15 feet of movement. He's going to go his full movement in the direction of Chauncey and Katara and company. It doesn't actually bring him too far. But given that Chauncey advanced also, he would probably be... Let me check some ranges here.
I'm also taunting the whole way up there.
All right.
Show me. Let's go. Also flipping off every camera I see.
All right. Still doing that.
Continuation through the entire tower. I want him to know that this is the brute he's dealing with.
All right. So, yeah, you are actually going to be within range. He is going to spend 2 chem material to cast adhesive as he pulls out this canister and sprays this almost web-like, foam-like kind of material out at you, which hardens and solidifies. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh. Strength. This guy don't know me at all. 13. Let's go.
Here we go.
That actually just succeeds. So
Let's go.
you, like with the ice before, you manage to hulk out of this one as this material begins to solidify around you, and you just strain and break the chunks off and continue stepping forward like a Terminator toward him.
I'm picturing that these guys think I am was it Mr. X or Mr. T or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, Mr. X.
Yeah, Mr. X, that guy. Like, to them, I am the tyrant.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
He like
shit.
Yeah, he sprays this stuff all over you, and you just push right past it, and he's just like, it's the Ares exosuit. It's too powerful.
And then meanwhile,
hell
there's like a glint of a katana unsheathing behind him.
Nah, he's a level down.
You don't know where I am.
Fair. So that is going to be their turns. Next up is Katara.
Yeah. Pop, 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 pop. I'm just gonna
You're gonna shoot this guy?
unleash the scar.
All
Yep,
right.
unleash the scar. What?
That actually misses.
All right, that's fine.
This
Unleash
individual
the
has
scar.
slightly better armor class. That mega hits though. So yeah, you get up from behind your cover. Actually, technically, no. Yeah, he's within your blind sight range. So yeah, I forgot the blinded doesn't affect you. You just can't see colors
long
right
range.
now, but you do know very well his location given the cacophony of sounds that are bouncing around this area. So yeah, you get up from behind your cover and just and aiming is a little bit tedious at first, and you have to kind of reorient yourself, but by the time you send down the second burst, you hit him squarely. So that's 20 points of damage to him.
Yep, 20 points of damage.
I don't think the 3D dice rolled for me for that. Lame.
Nope, me either.
Oh.
Huh.
Well, that's 20 piercing anyway.
All right,
Come get
so
some.
a bunch of bullets riddle along him as you ride the kick up, and spatters of blood shoot out, again staining his white lab coat also red. He holds his arm, or some of the wounds are bleeding from, and still seems to be in the fight for now, though. He just hisses at you with those mandibles out.
she hisses back. Actually looking, you're just kind of like, in quotes, looking behind her. And she just turns around. She's like, "We moving up? Because I'm about to start moving up here." This is Kevin and Miria.
Stay.
Gonna need a minute.
I need to keep the drink.
So,
What was that?
is that it for Qatar, or are you gonna use any of your movement?
How far is this guy away?
He's about maybe 40 feet away at this point. Or rather, closer to 30. Yeah,
I'll
adhesive.
move so he's within 15 feet of me.
All right, so you advance just a little bit.
I'll move so he's within 15 feet of me, and then I'm just gonna flame spray him.
With your bonus action.
Yep.
And you've been marking the resources for this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, my resources are fine.
Oh, yeah, you still got tons of fluids left.
Yeah, I'm not too worried.
That definitely hits.
All right. Oh yeah, that's right. It's and as I stated, she hisses back at him.
Spitfire.
21 flame, just.
And with that, you light him ablaze, and his blood-stained lab coat begins to burn, and he screams and roars, and just like, "Ah!" as these mandibles shoot out in a last ditch effort at clinging to his mutation, but he nonetheless burns to a crisp and falls to the ground, charred, still burning as he lays there.
When she moves back just to keep around Yuri and Kevin. However
All right.
much she can move back.
Yeah, you could very well get back to them with your movement.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yep, that's her turn.
Mr. G, you're up next.
So have we seen these long coats produce mandibles?
You have.
Okay.
Well, at least they have
That wasn't
now.
a long coat that was there.
Yeah, that was, but Mr. G's not down
Yeah.
there.
Wait, the one that just got.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah.
just got burned.
Is he dead?
There's only
He's
one
dead
long
now,
coat
yeah.
and 4.
Long coat dead?
Mhm.
Oh, this guy's gonna be easy. Never mind. I was expecting a fight.
Oh,
He-
hold up,
he
I'm
took
gonna-
more
I'm
hits
gonna
than the
roll my
others, but-
conclave.
Oh yeah, you get that at the end
I'm
of your
hidden.
turn. So, just to see if you could see colors again. Which you can.
Yeah, 26. Yep.
So yeah, you
Just like
open your
pure
eyes.
one eye opens like.
The spots begin to fade now, and you can see colors once again.
Woo.
You can see in the
So
visible
this-
spectrum.
So this other long coat, he just starts to hear like Mr. G, his voice just echoing. He's just like he just hears just like, "You think you're the monsters around here? You have no idea who we are."
All right, roll your attack.
Remember-
And he's looking around, just like, where is he? Spread out, find him. And just looking around, all paranoid like.
I just picture rent, and it's from Metal Gear Solid.
Headshot.
Very well.
We're doing headshot, boys. Let's go.
No, no, that was terrible. That was a bad idea.
The same thing happened to me earlier with a Magnum shell.
That barely hits.
Oh, you gotta be kidding! This guy's okay.
Still sucked though.
It was still pretty bad. I'm like, Mr. G's like trying to whisper, and then he takes a shot. It's like, oh, damn it, my breath was off. Goes through the head perfectly still.
Actually, he is going to use his reaction to cast Obscuring Cloud.
Oh,
I should have said anything. Okay. Okay.
So he hears those whispers coming around him, and he just like, just throws down a quick vial and just. As you take your shot, you're just poking for a silhouette in the clouds.
Mm-hmm. So my shot clears air,
Mm.
and you just hear this like ominous, just like Mr. G, just like, all right, I'll try a little harder.
That was a good one.
that was a good one. And then I'm a bonus action hide
All right.
again. Do I need to roll?
No.
Oh, that's a fucking good one.
Yep, exactly.
It didn't have the modifier on it. It just sounds like me.
I was
on
gonna
stream.
say, yeah. For clarity for the stream, that was a soundbite played by Isla, because we need to make note of that.
Oh man.
That was a good one.
All right, so that's Mr. G's turn.
That's his turn. Yeah.
But still hidden. Yeah, there's a shot goes off.
Attack, bonus action hide.
Some of the assistant researchers see it for a moment. They're like, "Oh, there is," and then they kind of run over there. And then by the time they get there, they're seeing nothing. So their turn is going to be up next. The researcher who's obscured in this shroud of mist is still shouting out orders, just like, forget this one. We got some more threats coming up below. Split up. And two of them are going to continue searching for you. Nope. And the other two are going to head downstairs and see the encroaching Chauncey.
With a big old Joker smile across his face. Like, hey, guys.
Yeah, one of the dead, more senior researchers. They are... Well, hey guys, they're gonna try and cast some more flame sprays at you. So they pull up with some canisters, and you're enveloped by a few streams of flame that do not quite actually envelop you. And that's
Just lighting my way.
Yeah, as you're just
Thank you
marching,
for the signal flare, boys.
marching LMG in hand forward through the flames.
Chauncey is absolutely terrifying.
Back up to the top of the round brings us to Chauncey.
These two
Speaking
are
of the devil.
You just hear like Mr. G's voice echoing. It's just like, I was just a harbinger. He's coming.
You should have went when I was here. It's gonna be a lot more painful for you
Yeah.
now.
You shouldn't have dodged. That would have been a nice death.
So I am definitely going to get right up in their face.
All right. Yeah, you've got the
I'm
shotgun out now.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
I got the death wand right now. So they will be dying here shortly. So again, right up in the grill, headshot two. Yeah, headshot, one shot because I used the two after I reloaded. So one shot. An advantage. Oh, that dude is dead. That dude is dead.
You can roll it if you like, but
I'm going to
fire off that round and just. Actually, you said this was just the one shot, right? So it'd be 4d8.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, it's been 4d8.
But in any event, it's all inconsequential because in either case, this dude gets splattered, gibbed into several pieces, like the one that came before him. Blow one arm clean off as he falls to the ground.
I am going to reload.
All right.
and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna light one shot off on this guy
All right.
as well.
Also mega hits.
And yeah, advantage.
Oh, yeah.
too. Just making sure I'm doing the right ones before I roll again. So yes, okay. So that at least just hits him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and oop.
Yeah. Also, same result. This dude blow one leg clean off, and he goes down.
Can I make it the rest of the way up the steps into that eviscerating cloud? Or obscuring cloud with my eviscerating cloud?
No, you can make it essentially. You could essentially make it to partway up those staircases, but you don't quite have an eye on that cloud yet.
Oh, so he's still further down the stairs.
No, he's up the stairs.
Oh, I can't get up the stairs?
No, yeah, not with your available movement and the distance going across that level.
Are these solid floors between
Yeah.
us? Like, are they catwalks? Like where it's like
No, these are
grading?
like solid metal floors on this mezzanine structure.
There were catwalks in other places though.
Yes, there
Yeah.
were catwalks along the another wall of this chamber.
Oh, so this is in the middle. The catwalks are on the
Yeah, are
circumference.
on one wall in particular, not on every.
Oh,
just on one wall.
Okay.
So like
That's
coming
what
in
I
from the stairwell would have been like on that far right-hand wall, whereas this structure is erected in the middle.
I think that's all I can do anyway. So it doesn't
All
matter.
right. So that ends Chauncey's turn. Next up is Kevin, if he's gonna do anything.
Okay, can I see any enemies from here?
None that are living.
Could I investigate?
Yeah,
Could I take a look through their corpses and see if they have anything?
Certainly, actually. So advancing a bit, you would find actually 2 chem fluids on. Well, I'll say using your action, you could search one individual body. So assuming kind of the closer ones that Chauncey at first took out with the spray and pray, yeah, you find 3 chem fluid and 3 chem material on that body. And a scalpel, in addition to his chemical set.
The scalpel returns.
He gonna shank you.
He did.
Flashbacks to the scalpel. Oh no.
I'm going to leave. I don't have much space. I'm going to leave the chem fluids and the scalpel.
Is it legendary scalpel?
Plus 3 scalpel?
It's just a scalpel.
Plus 3 scalpel?
The sharpest of scalpels?
Justin Scalver.
Furious stares at the scalpel.
If you drop that scalpel, it'll just melt right through the entire facility.
It just went down. at
100
nice
degrees scalpel.
And I think he's gonna advance forward a little bit. How much space can he move being in danger?
Oh yeah, in danger, you're at half movement. So that's about as far as you can get. You could get up to that body and search it.
Alright, well then, that's my turn.
All right, that ends Kevin's turn. Next up is Nuria.
I guess more healing. Let's see, I wonder if I can get you out of danger. What's my best heal? Actually, to be honest, I feel like my treat wounds is my best heal. Maybe. Wait, did I roll the 8 again? I think I rolled the 8. Oh yeah, I rolled the 8 again. You only got 14 hit points before.
Oh,
Not 17.
so minus 3.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, you're at 14 currently.
I'm sorry! Yeah, I'll do this one again. Yeah, I'll do this one again.
You're healing
Yeah,
Kevin
just
again?
gonna have her... More treat wound, yeah, more healing. Unless Chauncey needs it more.
I don't know if you would be able to catch up with Chauncey in this
That was a
turn.
good one.
That's true. Chauncey's gone.
Yeah, he's far ahead of you at this point.
That's a good one. Something's
Yeah.
never gone.
More heals. 16. That is the correct number this time.
That brings you to a pretty even amount at 30.
Are you out of danger?
I'm pretty sure I am, yes.
Ooh,
Awesome.
that brings you to caution then.
Heck yeah.
All right. So, you run up, catch up with Kevin, and continue applying some medical treatment. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's a 10. Wait. Is she, like, out in the open right now? Or
Yeah, essentially.
is she relatively safe? Like,
It's kind of out in the open.
if she has enough, well, actually, she probably used all her move. How far did Kevin move?
Kevin could only
Wait, no,
move 15
Kevin only
feet.
moved half his speed.
Yeah, he moved 15
she head
feet.
back to Katara.
All right, so you just round back to where you were.
Yep.
All right, and that's your turn.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, next up is going to be the long coat researcher, who is still up on the top floor, obscured by a cloud of mist. Actually, no, I think that lasts until the start of his turn, so it'd be fading right about this time. And as he does, he sees Chauncey coming up the steps, and this guy has not casted his volatile reaction yet. So he is going to go ahead and throw down another couple of vials down the hatch of this staircase that Chauncey is on his way up. And I need you to make another mobility save as he throws down these vials in your direction, having given up on trying to find the whatever ghost is up here. And seeing
if you threw that
this,
volatile reaction, you might have. Actually, no, you couldn't have killed me. Never mind.
I was
You
gonna
said
say,
mobility, right?
yeah, mobility saving throw. And seeing this big tank coming up the stairs is a bit of a
Yeah,
priority.
yeet.
All right. So
These
you take
bitches empty.
you take half damage then. It's 40 reduced to 20.
Oh hell yeah! I'm in. I'm still in.
How much?
7.
Nice
So he
I'm
throws
in.
this down the hatch and
plan.
goes back around the corner before Mr. G, you see a column of flame shoot upwards, funneled by the stairwell up to this 3rd level. And as the smoke for that begins to spread, you just hear Chauncey coughing and wheezing and grunting his way up the steps.
Oh, and I'm laughing. Like, you can't kill me. I'm coming.
All right. So that's his turn, and then he's going to return to the center of this level, or at least move a little bit away from the stairwell. Next up is going to be Katara.
So on, actually, wait, no, that's right. We can't see anything from the 2nd floor. I mean, anywhere to go is up. So I'm just gonna have her. I'm just gonna look in the area and just be like, she's gonna look in the area and go, "I'm heading up." Sounds like nothing but explosions and fire. She's just.
I mean, you guys could still see it though, because I'm on the same floor.
That's true.
still.
That's true. He's
Oh,
right at the
true.
base
That's
of
right,
that
he's throwing it
stair.
down.
Yeah, he's
That's
right.
right. Yeah,
down
he thrown it down.
Yeah, so
Well,
you just
whatever.
saw
Same thing.
Chauncey get blown up. So you're just like, I better go.
Yeah.
Have you seen Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom at all? Anybody?
Nope.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then I won't. I won't
You're gonna make
say
a run.
anything about it. But
So
you just see my
I'll
silhouette
be right
with all
behind
the
you.
explosions.
Oh, like yeah.
all right, and she's gonna start moving. How much does 50 feet of movement get her?
You will actually lap Chauncey a little bit. You could get part way up those stairs. Probably enough to see at least one of the little researchers with some cover.
Oh, okay, not the main researcher.
No, he's out of sight. He moved back after throwing that down the hatch.
Oh. Well,
I guess with your blind sight, you know where he is, but you can't see him. You don't have any visibility.
so with blind sight, I know where he is.
Yeah, you know where aroundabouts where he's located on that floor. He's still within range of that, and he's not hiding.
Oh.
But
So
you
if I
can't.
just
You don't.
toss
You
a
don't have
hand
any
grenade.
visual. You want to try
If
and?
I just toss a hand grenade.
I mean, you can try and
she's just
get a
'cause
good
it's like,
arc
if
and
she
alley oop it.
If she can essentially feel where this person is, she's just like that direction.
If you like, it's the kind of thing where it's like, you know where he is, you pull the pin, you look at G, and it's like, am I good? It's like, Mr. G just steps back a couple feet. Because you can see G too.
Oh yeah, actually, how far is G from that person?
I don't know.
You're probably
Within
a
katana
good,
range, probably.
Yeah, a good 15 or so feet from him.
Oh, okay, I can arc this without hitting him.
Yeah.
Mr. G just gives you the thumbs up. He knows you can see.
So yeah,
I'll
just-
say though, given the obstacles and that you're firing blind a little bit here, right? You got to kind of again overhand.
Alley-oop it?
Yeah, alley-oop over the rails that are blocking your way and try and get a good arc to that approximate location using your blind sense. I will say that this will require a tool attack to see if you could place it and hit this guy.
a tool attack. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I know it's a 14, but that's still a 10-foot radius. So
It's true. It's true. So you get
It's still a
at that
10-foot radius.
at that
Is it just-
range. Yeah, with that radius to it, you do still manage to get it close enough to him that he's just kind of on the edge of the radius. However, it falls a little bit away from the nearest assistant researcher as well, so you only catch the main guy.
Oh yeah, that's fine. What was this?
So he needs to
Mr.
make
G
a
dives out of the
mobility
way.
save.
Mr. G dies out of the way. Oh, danger close.
16.
16. I believe Katara's is 18 now. Hold on, let me just. Yeah, hers is 18.
Ooh.
So,
Dang.
so
So that fails. What a crazy day it is now that 16 fails.
the happiness of 5d6. Kaboom! 19.
All right, 19. You chuck that blind and hear a above you. Mr. G, you see the hand grenade land in between the small crowd up there. Again, just out of range of the little guys, but the explosion catches that long coat and he stumbles a little bit. He's like, ugh, and rights himself. He looks pretty hurt. He's got caught by a lot of shrapnel.
Sweet. Yep, that is my turn.
All right, that's Katara. Mr. G, you're up next.
I don't think I want to waste a bullet on this guy. I think he's got like 1 HP left, so I'm just gonna sword him in the butt.
Who, the
long coat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak up behind him and just put him out of his misery.
All right, katana in hand. Roll it.
Oh wait, yeah, I still have advantage. $25.
Hits.
Do I need to roll?
Yeah, you do.
44.
Oh, yeah. So, with that, you sneak up and take him out with your katana in a swift swing as he's looking around trying to be aware of his surroundings, but after getting rocked by this hand grenade out of the dust cloud left in its wake, you just come as a silhouette out of it, and then with a single samurai-like swipe.
Like the blast like backs him into me, and I just come out of a shadow and then back into the shadow. Actually, no, I don't. How many people are left?
2.
Yeah. Bonus action dash. I'm gonna get to the top of this mezzanine.
All right. Well, it's 6 stories in
far
all,
as I
but
As far as
yeah.
I can.
Bonus action dash, you could start ascending to the next floor, and essentially get up the stairwell for that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Mr. G's turn. Next up, the assistant researchers that are remaining are kind of looking every which way, seeing that they're being closed in on from all sides. When you weren't hiding, and you came out to attack them, so they did see you go up
And
the
I just
stairs. Yeah, they are out of sight, but one of them's going to. Yeah, they see you take off, and you're way out there. So choosing to stick together, they both opt to head down the stairs towards the encroaching assault from that side. But with their leaders gone, they're all kind of disorderly and looking about and trying to decide their own way. They get there and they see Chauncey's big hunkin' self blocking the way. So they're both gonna try and flame spray him.
I'm like, as they top, I'm still shaking my head. Nope. And nope.
Yeah. So just more flame just shoots down the stair. Well, actually, Katara's there too. I forgot about that. But she's in between you and them. So one of those would probably have gone to Katara.
Pretty sure they both missed anyways.
Yeah, I think they still missed though.
I mean, I'm cool with them both coming at me.
Which one is gonna go to what?
The 21 would probably go to Katara. They would have seen big armor first, and then little lady second. Oh,
Little lady second.
She's sad buff.
she is sad buff, but
She's
she's not
sad
as
buff.
tall as Chauncey.
Still
sure.
nat buff.
Yeah, no, she'll take this. I'm not going to do Obscuring Cloud.
Oh, so it does hit your AC?
Yeah, it's
Your
21.
base? Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, my
Just barely.
Yeah, my
Oh,
base is
okay,
21.
okay. I knew it was
Yeah.
close.
So you,
Because I'm not shell skinned.
Oh,
yet.
yeah, that's why you're usually a lot higher.
13 fire damage.
Okay.
So those flames shoot down the stairway, and Kevin and Nuria see that from the other end as Chauncey and Katara are blocking the way, and fire's just raining down at them. And some of that catches you, Katara, but you brush it off. They're going to retreat back a little bit and end their turn. Back up to the top is Chauncey.
I walk up these steps.
Trigger happy Chauncey.
I'm just, yeah, I am. I'm just slow walking up the steps. Just thump, thump, thump. Get right up in there, girl. Blasting them both.
All right. Well, you are in danger. Oh, right. You don't lose any movement because you're tireless.
Yeah.
But they were a bit further. Oh, yeah. They had to advance and then retreat. So, yeah, you would be able to catch up with them.
Hello, guys. Yeah. Kaboom. Headshot.
Hits.
And I'm gonna go ahead and hit that with that damage. That one's this one here. Oh, I get advantage. I forgot about that too. Okay, good. 37.
Eviscerated.
So I'm just picturing him like running and melting, like oh.
Yeah, he just falls forward as he's running away, and you shoot him in the back.
And then the last guy. And- Okay.
Also, mega hits.
Yay. Oh, 21.
And another one bites the dust as you come up the stairs and see these last two guys retreating trying to put some distance between you. But you chase them down and pull your sawed off right up to them, the legendary 3-barreled Hydra, and just with these resounding explosions of gunfire, the last two are shot down in their tracks. And with that, the dust seems to settle. All right, so you're searching.
Yeah, it's
G's
time to
headed-
search bodies.
She's headed to the top of the mezzanine. Probably just zipline out the rest of the way.
All right.
looking, so the top of this like chamber is empty, but there's stuff on the walls.
Essentially, yeah. The mezzanine goes up these 6 floors, and then along the wall is a catwalk structure that goes up the rest of the chamber. But above you, yeah, you see the ceiling way high above.
Okay.
It's like a tall silo. Give me a second to add up everything you guys find from searching these bodies.
Just point of note, G is going to be at the top watching that to make sure nothing else moves.
As I pull off that last shot, though, I just kind of like roll over toward a wall and just slump up against it, just slide down a bit, like, oh, like now the adrenaline is released. Like,
the crash.
I'm gonna take a long rest.
Nah.
We are here for 8 hours. I have nothing to do.
We're gonna try and get everybody to a room first.
I'm fine.
I mean, we can fortify.
Yeah.
We can fortify this freaking mezzanine, and we can own this shit. We're just gonna be like, Walker, you come to us.
I'm slumping down and shutting my eyes. So this is where I will be, just shotgun in hand. Oh, I'm gonna go get my Magnum, and then I'm gonna.
Somebody's just like, Chauncey, Magnum.
Shotgun's like in my hands, but like Magnum's like on my lap, and I'm just taking a nap. I'm just going to just close my eyes for a little bit. I just need to close my eyes. So that's where I will be while you guys search this area.
That's at least short rest worthy, right?
If you would like to take an hour.
At least. Yeah. Because I kind of do.
I mean, I'm cool with a full long rest myself. We can do this in chunks.
At least we can get to 1 hour and figure out what after that.
Yeah.
It is also worth noting, as this fight was going on, and as the gunshots were roaring, and all of the explosions and everything, all the chaos of it, those of you with fairly decent passive perceptions, such as Nuria, Katara, and whoever else, would very well be able to notice that there were some other sounds going on in the chamber throughout the battle, as if there were some reacting to all they heard. You heard some gasps and some screams and a few things here and there, just slipping out between the gunfires.
I'm assuming they're coming from above.
I'm watching the catwalk, so I see any movement.
You don't see any movement on the catwalks.
I got binoculars.
Make a perception check. You're looking at there.
Minimum 15, but I am heavy scanning. I am doing patrol top, making sure nothing's coming in, and if they do, I'm popping them.
All right.
If I see any movement or anything like that.
So you're looking for
24.
Oh, nice.
So just scanning the.
Yeah, I'm
catwalk
full. Like I'm top, making sure everybody down there's not gonna get snug up on.
Gotcha. So you're just keeping an eagle eye out.
Mm-hmm.
So 24. So for you take out your binoculars. You look around the area, scanning. You don't see anything below. You don't see anything in those open areas of the floor. You look at the catwalks, scan them. Don't see any patrolling guards. Don't see really any other hostiles right now, but you do see glimpses along the catwalks. There are basically lined with rows of doors at each platform from floors 11 to 15. Each one is lined with rows of heavy steel doors with small barred windows that kind of look into them, and through those little windows you do see little glimpses of movement, but it's kind of dark.
I can see my house from here.
Oh, that's probably where the screams are coming from.
And you do see up on the 13th floor what looks to be a shiny pair of double doors. Very unlike the other cell doors, which are just singular, and again, they just heavy steel doors with these barred windows in them. In the middle of the 13th floor, between these other cell-type doors, are these pair of steel double doors.
Do I recognize him?
Yeah, seems familiar.
Yep. Can I keep watch while resting or no?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Okay, I'm a chill.
But kind of keeping a passive eye out.
Yeah, I'm just watching. Like, if anything happens on those catwalks, you know, I've got my rifle next to me, but otherwise I'm taking a chill break.
Hit die time.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, also, the investigations.
Are there any doors on floors 6 to 10?
No, there are not.
It's like an open floor plan, right?
For
Like it's just out for the mezzanine. It's just kind of.
I mean, yeah. The mezzanine is entirely a laboratory, so all sorts of desks and tables and chemical mixing equipment. It's just this big chemical lab where they seem to be storing and experimenting with various kinds of chemicals.
Like there aren't any like discernible rooms. It's just
No,
floor
yeah,
on
yeah.
floor
It's
on
floor
floor
on floor on floor. Yeah.
Okay.
My dice
Alright.
are rolling at the moment. So.
Just rolling so many. It's waiting.
Yeah. It's still rolling. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it just gave up. I lost more than that this go.
Why did I roll d6s? Okay. I'm looking. Yeah. That was terrible. All right, I'm looking pretty good.
So
All right, so searching the bodies of the researchers during this time, you all are able to find
Here it comes. You're about to be rich.
40 chem fluid,
Yeah.
There's a lot of kid fluid.
yeah,
Yeah.
36 chem material,
You guys better start crafting.
and the off of the long coats, or what remains of them, the only unused crafted items you find are on the one on the second floor that Chauncey had taken out. Or rather, Katara. Or was that Chauncey? One or the other. I forgot who finished him off.
I took
that
out
was
the one
G.
on the.
No, Mr.
Third.
G took out the third floor one.
Oh,
third floor
and
one.
that was Qatar.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah.
I
So-
actually didn't kill any of the long coats, so
So on him, on the one below, you do find a spare cryogenic formula that you didn't use. And on both of them, you find a T-virus BOW repellent.
Oh. Okay.
We still have our gas grenades, right?
Yeah. Well, only one does. I think.
I know.
that's-
I have one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know. I gave mine out.
Was Neria? Or wait, no. Did Neria hand you the one that she had?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
pretty
Okay.
sure
Yeah.
that's
So
where I got
we
it.
only have a one in total
Okay.
in the party.
Okay. Trying to figure out
So-
what all the viral stuff we have are.
So since we're taking a rest here, I'm going to approach one of these bodies, take a couple of chem fluid. Not going to store it in my inventory. I'm going to use it right away to craft.
I don't know if you even got room in your inventory. You don't have a insulated bag, do you?
I don't have room in my inventory, so that's why I'm going to use it right away. So I am going to craft 2 more volatile reaction.
All right, roll for it. And again, being a chemical lab, you have plenty of perfectly optimized desks to work at as sort of workbenches for your crafting.
Okay, that passes.
Sweet.
That does not.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first one you managed to craft readily enough, but the second one you run into a few difficulties with trying to use some of the lab paraphernalia on hand, and some mix-ups happen in the process. The wrong things mixed at the wrong times, and there's a bit of a as one of the glasses shatter, and a small explosion goes off prematurely. You actually take 1 point of flame damage from it.
Oh no!
So okay, how many chem fluid did you take?
I just took 4.
Okay, I'm just keeping track of this right now.
So there's
'cause-
36 left.
I finally have another free space.
And I'm just like keeping track because I know Sleepy is still gone, so and she's probably gonna want to craft some stuff. So 36. Yeah, we have 36 air fluid left. Let's see. I could take. Actually, let me get a full stack. Oh, yeah, let me bring my material up to 10. So I'll be taking 4 of the material.
And as this rest is going on, somebody go ahead and volunteer to roll a d10.
Oh, I wanna.
All right. Go for it, Lauren.
Watch is gonna roll a d10. A 9.
All right. So we'll wait till you hear what everybody's settling to do for this short rest. Anything anybody else
I
want to get
literally
done?
just resting.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all I'm doing.
Chauncey's just
Literally
chilling out.
resting.
Licking his wounds.
Not even. I'm like literally like my eyes are shut. I'm taking shallow breaths, almost like knocking on death's door, but just chilling with it.
That's licking your wounds.
So the idea behind this was Katara wants to. Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Katara wants to find, because it seems like people will be tired, especially Chauncey. So you said there are rooms around, like on each of the areas, different like catwalks that are.
Yeah, on the catwalks there are rows of steel doors with little barred windows in them. They seem to be cells of sorts. Those run from levels 11 to 15.
Oh, 11. Oh, okay. So there's nothing where we are.
On this
It's all the
mezzanine,
way up.
yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
open layout, lab area, but it's open from the sides and whatnot.
Okay. Was it okay? Yeah, I wasn't sure because essentially she's just trying to figure out like where's a good place to put everybody, so that way if they want to rest, we're all in an area together, and then Katara can just keep watch afterwards. Oh yeah, so
Take a seat next to G.
sleep. So sleepy. But so essentially we did an investigation on the bodies and just like what we found, and we found 40 chem fluid, 36 chem material, and off of the bodies of the lab coats, the super lab coats. It was one of them had a cryogenic formula that they hadn't used, and then both of them had T-virus BOW repellents on them as well.
Yep.
No liquid nitrogen?
Nope.
Straight up formula though.
Yeah, I got a straight up formula.
But I want to
there.
make more cryo injection. Oh.
Can you deconstruct?
There
That's
is a craft for that if you have it.
Yeah.
There's a one where you could turn crafted items into their constituent parts.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
Big sad.
But I will take the cryogenic formula.
Okay, cool. So
Sad
you got
buff.
the formula.
Sad buff.
Sad buff. At the moment in time, there are
Sad lanky.
There's only 36. What was it? There's 36 fluid left, because Kevin took 4 of them to craft, and then there's 32 material left, as Katara took 4 to have a full stack of material.
Guys, I'm about
There's
to
a lot.
craft so hard.
So there's
There's
a
a
lot. I'm
Fill your
also.
inventory.
How do you know how many? So do you know what you're about to craft and how much you're
Steroids.
taking?
Oh, you bet I'm crafting steroids.
And I was gonna say, Mr. G, you can keep watch during the short rest, but you can do nothing else. I'll say.
Because I'm thinking I might
cool with that.
take.
All right. I mean, besides your
'cause I'm
hit dice
thinking
and
I
all that.
might take like. I might give myself half a stack of chem fluid and take like 5.
How many steroids do I want to craft? Well, 2 syringes, so I want to make 3 sets.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6 chem fluid.
Mm-hmm. So from 36 to 30.
Hold on, let me craft first. I might need more.
True.
Blanking on how to craft again.
D20 plus
It's-
your proficiency plus the ability modifier listed.
That's right. Okay. Steroids. That's a success. So I have 1. That's DC 20, that's right. Okay, so I have 1. Oh no! Ah, so close.
Ooh, that fails.
3rd one. Yeah. So I have 4 more steroids. Do I want to try another craft? Like, and
Yep.
try another steroid? Alright.
You're freaking rich.
Okay, take another 2 chem fluid from there.
Mel, are you keeping track of that?
Yeah.
So okay, so what? So we have 1 success, 2 success, 3 success.
8 chem fluids.
8 chem fluids gone.
Yeah, because even the
Okay,
fail takes up the
so-
chem fluids, so...
Okay, so 36 minus 8. So there's 28 left.
And now I'm gonna go craft some more medical injections. Which I think is another 2.
Somebody else, real quick. So there's 28 chem fluid left. I'm gonna have Katara take a stack of 5 real quick, so that'll drop it down to 23. I need to go get pizza. I need to go get my pizza.
Alright.
So there's 23 chem fluid left.
Alright.
23, 26? Or 36?
23, 32.
Okay, I'll keep track.
Alright. So, another 2 chem fluid. This is DC 10. Oh, this is easy. The only way I can fail is if I get a 1. Yeah.
Well, 1 and a 0.
So that's another 2.
Fluid.
Yeah, fluid.
21.
And I'll do another one.
19.
Oh, yeah. That's another 2.
Kevin, is your inventory full?
Kevin?
5, that's 7.
Yep.
Is Kevin here?
He's on camera.
Oh, yeah.
See 'em.
Troy!
Yes?
Kevin, is your inventory full?
I have 1 space.
I can take a whole stack of chemical fluid if there's any left.
How much is that? 5?
A stack is 10.
Yeah, 10.
That brings it down to 9.
But I'm not taking it yet. I'm still crafting.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna craft more ability enhances, I think. Actually, no, 1 more medical.
Yeah, I might want to craft some last stuff before we...
That's another -2 fluid.
minus the
Oh,
fluid.
well, it's technically a success.
Nope. Natural 1 fails.
Oh. Do I at least get 1 syringe?
Nope. That's a natural 1.
Oh.
Automatically
Okay,
fails.
I'll do it again. There we go.
Another
Okay,
2.
so she's at... Yeah, that's another 2. And then... All fluid. There aren't that many, chem material crafts. I'll probably make another enhancer. Oh, it's another DC 10. That's easy. Also, this is 1 chem fluid. 1 per. Alright. Did I get 2 syringes from this one? I think it is. Yeah, 2 syringes. I'll do 2 of these. It's really 1 per. Yep, both successes.
13.
So now I have 5 ability enhancers. That's probably enough to handle for a while.
The rest of the tower.
Unless I want to make more. I mean, they only are 1 chem fluid per. I'll make 1 more. Dang it! No!
You're gonna lose 1 more.
That's the only way I can fail! Okay, well, I guess I'm making another one. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, she's got 7 ability enhancers now. That should definitely be enough.
11
I
fluid.
hope. How many anesthetics do I have? I have a lot of anesthetics. I think we're good for anesthetics. Wish I could make... I do have 1 liquid nitrogen on me, but I like saving that one for if I need to use... like a cryo spray. make another toxic injection. Which is 2 chem fluid.
I'm actually curious what all of these crafts add up to, because these are a lot of crafts.
Success.
Like,
I was gonna
in terms
say
of
this
minutes.
is a lot of crafts in terms of time, so you will only be able to get so many of these done during the course of that hour. Actually,
Oh no.
actually,
Well, you know,
also
Chauncey's not getting that.
I was gonna say, technically speaking, also you can't craft during a rest. That's considered heavy activity. So,
Yeah, so-
you wouldn't get a short rest in as well as the others are.
Yeah. You'd have to take a
That's
rest after all
okay.
your crafting.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay.
Are you missing HP?
Yeah.
You need a
But
short
I
rest.
have heals.
Nope, that's what hit dice are for.
Oh, okay.
If you're not in combat, you don't need a heal.
Okay, this is her last craft then, which is a success.
Unless you're
That's a
like
minus
really
2.
bad.
Unless it's really bad, yeah.
Like
Well,
if you're
I mean,
missing like 200
and-
hit points and you can catch that up with a heal, then
Yeah, I
It'd be
mean, like,
worthwhile.
at that point, you need to cast heal.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I don't get that until my next level.
Well, gotta kill more baddies. You know how
I'm
you do that?
trying.
By advancing the rest of this tower after we sleep.
Mr. G, make a perception check.
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
back.
end
What's going
of
on?
her crafting.
Still crafting.
I have 10 steroids.
Yeah, I was glad we pointed out
Okay.
that technically she can't finish all these crafts right now, just because of the amount of time those crafts add up to.
Uh-huh.
So she's
You
just
can rest
going.
for
She's
longer.
like, she's just going.
Yeah.
All right. How many are?
We have 11 fluids and 32 material still.
So I can
Did you
take.
run?
Yes, I did.
Get that cardio in.
Oh yeah, I always try to.
Get that cardio in and pizza time.
So I can
Perfectly
take.
balanced.
I can take 10 chem fluid. Should I just make another? Sorry, there's 11
Yep.
chem fluid, right?
Yeah, there's 11.
Wait,
Okay, I'll
what's
just make another ability.
really quick?
Yeah?
What's the DC? What's the highest DC of everything you casted there? You did a bunch of.
The highest
steroids,
DC I
right?
think is 20. Yeah, I did 4 steroids. One of them failed, but the other
5
6
steroids.
4 steroids.
You did 5 steroids. Or 4
I did 4 steroids, but I got 3
Okay.
because one failed.
So it's worth noting that each of those steroids would take an hour to craft.
Oh,
Okay, so long rest. It is.
Long rest it is.
it's long rest. Let's go.
I have just.
better
slipped in
finish on the long rest. Oh no.
Wait, so
If you want to keep those steroids, that's 4
Yeah.
hours already.
oof. So you may not be able to get a long
A
rest.
medium rest.
Yeah, so bear that in mind. But as we as as we go forward here, we'll go ahead and keep those marked that you have those, but you'll have to stay here for a bit. Pretty much spend the rest of the day here working at crafting all of that.
So Katara will make it known. Just kind of like said to everybody. Well, even though Chauncey's sleeping, but and she's just like, so I feel like I'm good enough to be able to stand guard if anybody wants to go to sleep. I haven't felt tired, strangely.
Okay, now when you say you haven't felt tired, you mean like right now? Or like ever?
It's I don't know what it is, but you know, whenever we take an hour to just relax,
Yep. He
I
gets up
feel-
and just like stretches. It's like, yep, an hour to relax.
I feel reinvigorated every time that happens. Like I've slept an entire day.
Well, shoot. You keep watch. I'm gonna go scout.
All right, I'll keep watch then.
We'll
Mr. G,
talk about this later.
Mr. G, from the top of the mezzanine.
Minimum
We will.
15, by the way.
Okay, worth noting. You keep a watch out.
I'm a skill monkey.
As this is going on, and you're communicating all this over the airwaves and keeping watch from the top, you do hear as things begin to calm and a little bit of time passes where there might have been some hesitance. You do hear some calling out echoing throughout the chamber, just like in the distance. Hey! Stay way out there! And different voices just like, hey, somebody help!
Mr. G hears it and is like, well, at least they're awake. And doesn't hear it for the rest of his rest.
All right. As you kick back to rest and relax.
Yeah. Is this after or during the hour rest?
During. What's your AC?
Higher than that.
So, actually, especially given your wait, no, yeah, that doesn't apply.
That doesn't come.
Yeah,
that doesn't pop. Wait.
So
you're asking. Are they 10 feet from me?
But that's only for seeing invisible creatures, though, right?
Yeah, and not until later that I can't be surprised.
Yeah, you still can be surprised.
That hits.
Okay, so as
Are you
you're
surprised in Predator mode?
As you're standing guard, you hear that, you're distracted for a moment, and just like shake your head, kick back to ignore it for the rest of your rest.
Mm-hmm.
As you kick back, you see a shadow at the last minute from a nearby fluorescent light being cast from something whose source you do not recognize. And you immediately at the last minute turn around to see this massive red face right up in yours as this maw opens up, this brain on the top of its skull, and a skinless creature just swings at you with its claws. You fall out of the way, backing up suddenly, and surprisingly, your first swing goes wide, but then it comes down with an overhand claw coming down on you, and that one does manage to hit. You take 5 points of slashing damage as it catches you off guard and clips you with the second attack.
Really quick. This is during the rest. I do not get the benefits of a short rest yet.
Correct. I'll say you get some of them, but how many hit dice did you roll?
All of them.
I'll say the 5. I'll say the last two we can negate.
Oh, the last one was like 1 and something else.
Okay. So, yeah, minus from those, and then minus from
10.
the damage.
So. All right, so 10. 10 and 5, so all right, just minus 15.
And then on the floor below, Katara, go ahead and make a perception check. Given your enhanced senses, I'll allow you to be the one to make the check down here.
All right.
Yuri's just having fun with some chemicals.
Is there... would there
Actually-
be any sort of advantage with them potentially being in my blind sight as well, if there's anything there?
Well, I was gonna say the blind sight would be the reason why you can make the check. Although, actually, on second thought, though, yeah, actually, incredible stealth does not beat Nuria's passive perception. Actually, so Nuria,
No, my passive perceptions failed me.
your passive, with your passive perception, Nuria, you do realize that something is encroaching on your area currently, and you look over. You hear like this slight scratching sound just on the edge of your hearing, and kind of move away quietly from the rest of the group, and look over one ledge, and you do see crawling up vertically along the side of this mezzanine another such skinless creature. A licker is coming right up towards your face.
Wait, I did see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
passive perception.
Oh, I thought I didn't.
no, your
Oh,
passive
yeah.
your passive perception beat
It
their
could not.
stuff. It couldn't
Oh, I
beat
get
your
screwed.
yeah your passive.
She's like, what?
Can Neria spray this thing in the face?
All right, what are you using?
She's just gonna. Actually, she does have a lot of chem fluid now. Money, it's murder impairment. Let's go.
All right. So you yell out and then lean over the edge and spray some chemicals in its face. What does it have to do?
Intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence save. That's a 9.
Oh, you wrecked. That's a -4.
That's a rip.
That's a rip.
So what are the
This thing
effects
has
of that?
no idea what's going on. Let me get a murder impairment. I believe it was the equivalent of slow.
Oh, right. So its AC is lowered, its speed is halved, and it can't multi-attack.
Yep.
All right, but it still does manage to it got most of the way up to your floor, and it still manages to get over the lip and give chase to you. It is going to make its one attack for this round at you, Nuria, in retaliation.
Oh, you can try.
That's going to be a 12 to hit.
Oh, you failed.
So
Correct.
it just like it reels as these chemicals mystify it, and it shakes its head and attempts to climb back up with these. After this raw chemical just got spilled on its brain, it climbs all the way up and swings at you pathetically and weakly as it attempts to give chase. But it's now coming to the view of the rest of you who would be down on this lower level.
Okay, I'm gonna have Katara run over with her stun baton.
All right. Feel free to
She's
roll
just
some
gonna-
attacks.
Yeah, she's just gonna beat it to death.
Mr. G, anything going on
Well,
upstairs?
attempt to.
Yeah, I'm gonna retaliate whenever I. Oh wow!
Burn.
Oof.
That thing's gonna be dead.
That's it.
So
Kill
does
it.
champion effigy crit too?
Yeah, if you apply champion effigy, double that dice
Yep,
too.
that's-
All damage
yep.
dice.
That's what's
exactly
great
what I'm
about
doing.
all those things that it's like on hit. It's like I could just dump all of them on a crit.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. All right, and I'm gonna.
I know that's how people do that divine smite, where it's just like they crit. It's just like, oh,
33.
go for divine smite. Yeah.
33 bludgeoning.
33. Yeah, as you
Is this thing
just
dead?
that thing runs after Nuria, as you see it swinging limply towards her. You're just like, nah, and you come in and baseball bat swing over the head, smash that thing over the railing, and it just front flips onto its back in front of you. Its exposed heart beaten in front, and now as it's kind of belly up.
I'm gonna have it. No, I'm gonna have it make a. Oh wait, it's still moving, right?
It is still moving. That seems
Okay,
to
I'm gonna-
deal a hefty blow, but it is still looking pretty good.
I'm gonna have it make a Constitution saving throw, or be stunned.
Ooh,
DC is 17.
that fails.
Nope.
Yeah, so it's like as it goes onto its back, she sees its heart and just puts the stun baton there. Just
And the thing
no.
squirms and writhes on the ground, and it's just it makes
And
this
then I'm
pitiful
gonna-
groan.
and
It's
then I'm
stunned.
gonna go in for my extra attack.
All right, you have advantage.
Uh,
I'll say because it got proned from that crit.
30 to hit that one.
Mega hits.
Isn't that crit for you as well, or is that?
Isn't it-
am I mistaken?
It did not get stunned.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
no, it is
got
stunned.
it is stunned. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's true. So you would
Yeah,
have
of course.
advantage anyway. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so d6 plus 6. Oh, that's baby.
That's baby damage.
That's a baby damage. What just happened?
Just
So
kicked
after
it.
that, yeah, you just like just give it a tap with your baton for one more smack as its line fly on the ground.
And with that, nope, not done yet.
Oh,
I'm gonna flame it.
all right. Roll your tool attack. Now that you got all these more fluids to fuel it.
So as a question, real quick, so it's on its back. It's stunned. I had advantage because it was stunned, or because it was
stunned.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if it was prone, this would be at disadvantage at all.
Oh yeah, we'll say the stun was the main thing.
Okay, cool. What?
You would still have advantage from
yeah.
the stun, yeah.
21. Okay, there we go.
I think the other one would have hit as well with its reduced AC, though.
Oh, really?
No, you're wrecked.
Because the slow reduces their AC by 2, right?
Yep.
Okay, here it is. And 17 flame.
All right. As you and then light this thing ablaze. You flip it onto its back on the ground, and as it's prone there, hit it one more time, and then just douse it in flames as this little section of floor is now lit up. The thing is squirming there.
And she'll be like, she'll just look in her and just like, get behind and keep watching out to make sure there's no more. I'll handle it. And then she's just there with the baton ready.
All right,
when the turn comes around again.
Yeah, you just went full exterminator mode with handling that thing over on that side. Anybody else acting in this round?
I'm attacking the one by me.
All right. Did get the drop on you.
I'm trying to think. There are places to hide around here.
I mean, yeah, you're still plenty of obstacles around. Yeah, technically it can't see you, that's true. But it does have blind sight.
That's what I was wondering.
It effectively can, but...
So, with blind sight, you can see invisible but not hidden enemies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blind.
Yeah, bonus action, hide.
All right, make a stealth roll.
After all of that, I'm just gonna scramble back to my feet and just like jump over like a railing or something like that, and just like calm my breath and start moving quietly.
All right, so you reduce your heart rate, and actually, the stealth roll is unnecessary with these things, so you're hidden.
Really?
Mm.
Okay. Find a good vantage point. I'm just see if I can put up it.
So that was a bullet.
Yep, I'm gonna shoot it. Cause seeing how much damage it took.
Yeah, and these ones seem quite hardy. These are not the same sort of lickers you all are used to fighting, not the kinds you've seen in times past. These ones seem quite a lot more durable, even a little faster.
Faster? Yeah, headshot still. Ah, crit.
All right. And sneak attack because you had advantage.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Someday I'm going to spot a creature.
Before you attack it.
Well, because I have to use my bonus action.
Oh yeah, that's right, to hide.
For hiding most of the time.
Tactics.
One day, it's rolling.
This one might come with a loading bar.
It skipped it.
No,
98.
I skipped it. All right, so with that, you are in this frantic fight for your life as you're ambushed by this creature, as you're backing up and just scooting away from it as it's clawing at you. But you manage to evade and put some distance between you, calm your breathing, find a hidden point. You see the creature stop and go into like a low prowl as it seems to be searching for you. And once you realize it's lost track of you, splatter the exposed brain on its dome.
Like the way I'm imagining this is like you have this scene where it's like the thing is just like crawling after G, and G's like, you know, frantically backing away, and he's like coming towards the camera because I think of everything in terms of camera.
Cinematic.
He goes towards camera and past, and the liquor loses it, goes down, goes quiet, and then a shot comes from like off screen right, and then G comes in behind it.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, that thing has been surgically executed.
All right.
The other one is still
taking a nap. No,
Yeah, the other one's still squirming and burning on the ground on the lower level. If anybody else is taking any action,
like in that amount of time, I could just hear Katara just going like smacking it and burning it, and just like get back over there. I'm just like, oh well. Take a look around. Do I see any more coming up other than the one that I killed and the other one that they're dealing with?
Coast seems clear up here.
So So you said the one on our level is still writhing and burning, right?
Yep. In a pile of flame.
Kevin, seeing all this go down, Kevin's just gonna calmly stand up, walk over. He looks to Katara. He looks at the liquor. Back to Katara. Back at the liquor. He takes out his magnum, and he just shoots it.
All right, make your attack roll with advantage. No proficiency, so still just your mobility modifier. And the weapons bonus, if it has one.
Pretty sure it has like a 2, I think.
Does it occur? Are you like up close and personal? Because that gives you disadvantage.
It does have advantage because it's stunned.
Oh, I was just saying, because doesn't the weapon have if you're too close?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
You have to be like right up on it.
Yeah.
So
what
modifier is it?
Mobility modifier plus the weapons bonus.
Right.
Mob +3 or mob +2.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. It was your magnum, and you'd upgraded all of yours to +2.
I was about to say that's a +3.
I wanted it to be +3, but they couldn't figure out how to make it any better.
Yeah.
17 hit.
Yep. Go ahead and roll your damage. That'll actually be the bonus for your damage roll as well, since you don't have proficiency.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so you fire one shot down. You see a spatter of blood shoot out of the flames. It squeals, but you still see it writhing there.
So, Katara is gonna look over at Kevin, look over at Neri, and just be like, "The ones back in Raccoon City died. This is still alive."
You're just like, what? Why is it taking so long?
Is this like a dimly lit room, or is it fully lit?
Oh no, everything's fully lit around here.
Okay, Chauncey's just gonna stir up, walk over real slow, shotgun headshot to the face. It's like boom, and then walk back and go to sleep.
Yeah. You're just like, you're interrupting my nap.
So let me go ahead and do that for you guys real quick. Headshot.
You go right ahead.
With advantage.
Plus I get advantage as it is, so it wouldn't have mattered.
I didn't roll it, but 24.
There we go.
I came back to the page and I saw the one roll again, and I was like, no way.
32.
Yeah, with that you just remove its head.
Boom! I go back over to where I was, slump back down, and go back to sleep.
So I guess during this, I just go look over, see Chauncey do that, see him pass back out. That must be an alert mode for him.
I'm assuming my eyes weren't even fully awake. Is the Ares suit just moving me there?
Yeah, that was the nat one. The nat one was Chauncey. The 15 was the suit.
Kaboom. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I've slumped back down to slumber.
All right.
And she's just looking around. All right, so we're in the chem labs. There's a bunch of stuff here we can do. Might want to look into this. Well, whatever's left that's not burned. Because for some reason this Just seems different.
I can do some tests.
Yeah, let's run some tests.
Nuria's got
Also-
crafting to do. She's still not
that's
finished
right.
with everything she's already rolled. So if you want to divert time away from that to try and dissect it, you would lose some progress there, but
It's gonna take a while anyway. She's gonna do tests.
okay. And also that did interrupt your guys' short rest, so you will have to start over another hour to complete
Yep.
one and get the benefits of it.
I wasn't taking a short rest.
Yeah,
anyway. I'm
Nuria,
good.
Nuria's good, but
Back at it.
everybody else.
Also, Nuria would be like, also, you remember how that door in the garden, it needed some sort of like crank or valve or something? Did you guys check if there was one in here?
No, you just check the bodies.
Did you want to check while I do this?
Are you using science or medical?
I can use either, man. But if you want to give me
I'm
a
like,
tool,
I can give you advantage on science.
I'll use science then. Do something different for a change.
But she'll look over at Kevin. Kevin, you want to go look around for the or see if there's any valves or handles here?
I was gonna do that.
All right. We're going to be
All right.
dissecting this.
Give him a slacker stim. I don't know if that would count for a valve
I think it's
handle.
No.
basic.
No, it's only for basic
stuff.
resources. Not key items.
Ah.
Basically, just tells you where you can look.
21.
All right, so this will take the better part of an hour to do the full dissection procedure and whatnot. And yeah, if you're going to go out searching or anything like that, or Katara, you're helping with this, so that would also be an interruption.
Oh yeah,
to your
she's going to
short
be
rest.
helping with this.
Yeah. So after an hour of dissecting this liquor and putting its various blood and tissue samples through a variety of tests, you find that this creature is a liquor, but it is quite enhanced, not the traditional kind that you've fought in times past. And it appears to have some lingering traits of a very, how should I say, primordial kind of virus that you don't entirely recognize. Something that is just far more base and yet far more potent than any of the more refined viruses than you have worked with, Katara. In fact, make a history check.
It's not Aya?
Oh no.
I think I know what this is.
Is it Spectre?
Outside, no.
No.
Out of character, I feel like I know what this is. Katara, however, we'll see.
The Return of Spectre. Wow.
Whenever it rolls.
Roll
Getting
20s
some
chugging
delays
tonight.
tonight.
I feel
At
like
20.
okay. I'm hoping she gets this, just because it would be.
Oh!
You
lots,
did it!
lots of nat 20s tonight. Wow.
She knows everything you know.
Yeah, so I
She
think
hit you.
she has all of Mel's meta knowledge. Yeah, you would know about liquors like this surfacing earlier this year in Kajuju. They were mass produced by Tricell there. They are called liquor betas, and they are enhanced with the progenitor virus.
I knew it.
And you know some of these went to the black market after that incident. So these are pretty new, but they're around.
And so she's immediately just like, while Nuria and her are just kind of going through this, she's just like, oh my god.
What's up?
Okay, I was wondering why I couldn't trace I've worked with viruses, obviously, but like I haven't worked with anything like this. This is old, and I mean
Old?
old. Yes, progenitor is what it's called. There's little traces of this mixed into the liquor. This is a liquor beta. And these were made in Kijiji. They're enhanced with progenitor. They're actually on the black market right now too. They're fairly new.
How do you know it's on the black market?
Mr. G's just gonna like throw the body overboard and it's like, there it goes.
Splatters on the floor below.
She just wait. There was there was.
No, don't distract from the conversation.
So I don't go to the black market, but I definitely keep an ear down just to see if I hear anything, which hasn't worked a lot, but I've gotten some information.
I detect lying.
Okay, listen. It's not a lie. I've gotten nothing off the black market.
Can I roll an insight?
Sure, roll an insight check.
I need more insight. Give me more insight. Do I want an ability to enhance myself for this?
You can't do that as a reaction. This is happening in the moment.
Okay. That 20. That 20. Yeah!
Is so Katara. She hiding anything?
No, because I think in any of the episodes where I've dealt with stuff in the black market, I've had her ear to the ground, but I've never actually had her go in and do
dang
anything.
Oh,
And that's just because
Did you buy anything from Mr. G?
no. Whoa, did I wait?
Well, actually,
No. Wait a minute.
Yes.
What did you
Well,
get
there's an entire warehouse full of shit in Canada.
I was about to say, not anything that anyone knows about, but you have dabbled in the black market a little bit.
I am the black market, you realize.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Looks like
actually, no.
badly.
Nuria already knows about the warehouse, though.
But does she know what's in there?
I thought
She
we
doesn't
had.
know.
She knows that it
I thought
exists.
I thought we had
I
that
don't even know
conversation.
what warehouse we're being talked about right now.
I thought we had that conversation because it was between like she told her mother and Nuria, but didn't tell her father. Her father's the one that doesn't know because she was like, "He's going to whoop me."
I'm trying to remember this. I legitimately don't know what the warehouse is.
I will have to go through our messages and all the messages that are around because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we'll
I've
see.
said
We'll
that.
see. We'll see afterwards. But
But Nuria knows.
But Nuria
so maybe being a little dodgy. Not that much.
It's technically the truth, is what.
yeah, it's technically the truth. She hasn't dabbled in the viral black market.
Oh boy, we're talking about this later too.
Wait, what are we talking about? Wait, what's the first thing we're talking about?
You not needing to sleep?
Okay, but that's a benefit to a lot of
That's
things.
not normal. I need to test on you.
Huh?
Later.
That can go many ways. All right, yeah. So, go ahead, do what you got to do. I think we're just gonna throw these over. She said, actually, yeah, because they could just fall down.
Yeah, you could just throw them over the mezzanine and onto the wide open floor below,
Yeah,
like
she's
Mr.
just
G
gonna.
did.
Yeah, but she's just gonna. All right, and
You give it a good heave. It's got some weight to it. But with your newly enhanced strength, you are pretty easily able to get it over, given some effort. So that's your hour.
Always forget Katara has strength now.
Oh
Back to
yeah,
crafting.
she's got mad strength. So back to crafting. Nuria's sitting there for another few hours, still hammering away at those crafts that she dedicated herself to.
So
Meanwhile, the rest,
the 2 hit dice back.
yeah. So you can get those back now. Anybody else who's completing their long rest could do another hour. Well, I suppose Chauncey's would be finished in that hour that they took dissecting. Same with Mr. G. So you two have finished your short rest.
Yeah.
Katara and Nuria had foregone for some dissecting. Kevin, you're foregoing for some investigation. So go ahead and make
That's right. I was supposed to roll that, wasn't I?
make your investigation check.
Nice.
All right.
Ooh.
High numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, one thing I should note is that, again, this is 6 floors of chemical labs on this mezzanine structure. It is massive. It is a lot of space to traverse, and it's very cluttered. There's laboratory gear all over the place. Those who are used to working here can probably navigate it pretty readily, but you see a lot of stuff all over the place. And it's a lot to look through, and it's well stocked with chemical supplies and various storage units and cabinets throughout. All of you kind of imagine that if you took some time just exploring throughout this entire structure, you could pretty much find any sort of crafting materials you need given enough time. So searching through this area, you are able to traverse all up and down it. You go through a couple of levels. You eventually find on floor number 8, the 8th floor of the tower proper, which would be the 4th level of this mezzanine, you find what looks to be a shiny hoist platform, which is just outside of the structure being suspended by a chain, on which lies what looks like a sort of lever with blue tape around the handle.
I'll take that lever.
All right, so
Did we find one?
you go for the blue lever. As you reach out to grab it, the chain suspending the hoist through a rope and pulley system loosens, and the platform that it's on rapidly descends down to the bottom of the mezzanine.
Kevin's falling again.
That's a safety
Kevin's not
issue.
falling. The hoist, this little platform that it was resting on, just drops, and it goes out of sight from you, Kevin.
So I'd have to go all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, you hear it. It starts falling rapidly before you hear it. Just the platform clang at the bottom before you hear. It's just rapid footsteps run away from that point where it landed.
Do I see that?
Are you following the sound? Do you hear that sound? Do you look over the edge?
I'm still keeping watch.
All right, so yeah, you look over the edge as you hear that sound, and you do see this figure in tactical gear running away with a lever. All right.
I feel like I'm being trolled.
He's more than 50 feet away. I have advantage.
Yes.
He hasn't
Feel
taken
like
action in
troll.
combat. I think he's surprised. No, he's not. I don't know if he's surprised.
Make
Wait,
an
do I see
advantage.
this man too, or
I mean, are you looking over the ledge?
yes?
19.
19 hits.
Is he surprised?
No.
He doesn't.
He did kind of initiate this whole encounter.
That's true. Not combat, but this is an encounter.
Yeah. So he surprised you more than you've surprised him, because he
That's
just
true.
running with that thing and probably was expecting to take some
You'll never
fire.
get this, boy.
Oh, dang it! Could have spotted him.
Coulda, shoulda.
Remember the spot. Die.
Andalin.
54 points of get back here damage.
All right. So as you see that individual running
that down.
off, he's about
Put it
to
down.
round the corner from your view as you line up this shot through your scope, put his head in your crosshairs, and head explodes. He skids to the ground with this mandible parasite curling outwards from the stump of his neck, and he skids across the floor, unmoving.
I jump off the top of the mezzanine.
All right. You
And I'm gonna
fall.
head down there as fast as possible. I fly.
Spread your wings, catch the air, and
Spread
descend
my wings
to the below.
and fly away.
And I'm just gonna like slide up right up next to him.
Slick. You see
Do I hear
the
anything else? Anybody else coming to his aid?
perception check.
What's up?
Oh, never mind. I thought you were asking if any of us were coming, but
Oh, I mean, if you see me running,
I mean, Kevin was gonna come and check on it.
I am a lot faster, I think.
Yeah. A few minutes later, Kevin will get down to the bottom from the stairs.
Like, because when you said like I have to go all the way back down, I don't.
I was gonna say, like, how fast would it take Guitar to get down there with 100 movement?
Yeah.
You're busy dissecting right now.
Oh, this is during dissection.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This is concurrent
Yep,
with
yep.
that.
All right. Percept 5, so minimum 15, 20.
Coast seems clear. You do hear Kevin making his way down the mezzanine. You do hear some more distant screams. There's like, what was that? There's definitely people here.
Should we? Should one of us go up to the
I'm trying
To
to
the
hold it
prison?
together. I can't.
find a way to open those doors or something?
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I was in one of those cells. You want me running loose? Gonna grab that. You said it's a lever with a blue handle or blue
Yeah.
tape.
Blue lever.
All right. Gonna pick that up.
All right, I'll take
Toss
up
it
a
over
block
to
of
the-
inventory space.
I only got the one. I'm just gonna toss it up to Kevin on the way back.
All right. You meet him in between, coming up the stairs as he's coming down.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Got him. Don't worry. Oh, so what kind of a lever do we got here?
It just looks like a stick. It's blue lever, and it comes to a circular end.
Okay, circular. So that was floor 3.
There's a garden.
That was in the garden.
Yep.
Guard?
So
Like that.
We have a room we can go to now.
I was gonna say, do you want you guys stay here? G goes checks it out really quick and see, and then call you back if it's clear. While you're finishing up all your stuff, and then haul everything down if we need to.
I don't know if you should be going on your own.
I am.
Well, technically, you still need the hour to rest. This kind of interrupted that as well.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So, if anything, Katara, if you bring this up to
in that
Katara,
room.
if you bring this up to Katara, she'll just be like, considering what we were just attacked by 2 of the liquor betas,
And then we got robbed.
and then we got robbed. Apparently, listen, I say we all move over to that room. We all go there. We hunker down in there. We all
Some of
find
them-
out what's in. We all hunker down and keep that door blocked. Everybody gets some sort of rest or do whatever you can. I will keep watch.
Someone's gonna have to pick up Chauncey. I think he's sound asleep.
Well, we'll figure something out. We're almost done here, so.
All right.
I would if I had my body.
Yeah. Well,
We'll do something for you.
I mean, you got an arm.
Enyo laughs.
I thought I had my voice changer on then. I was like,
Nope.
wait, I turned it off, didn't I?
No, I'm just-
Yeah, G's gonna hold on. Going back to the stairs because just going back down to the stairwell at least. There's lights on, like fluorescent lights on all the staircases.
On the stairwell, the main stairwell that you guys just
Stairwell.
came from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like how many lights per?
essentially
Floor.
one at each landing. They're not very large
Okay.
landings.
You guys all have flashlights and lights, right?
yeah,
I mean, I think half of you can see in the dark.
yeah, I can.
Kevin Nuria, though, you have lights, I believe.
Yep. And she turns on her flashlight.
Ow!
Oh, sorry.
I don't have any flashlights.
Okay, you're gonna have to stick together. Oh, I'm gonna go make sure everything's clear. I don't know where this dude came from,
All right.
and I'm just gonna head down into the stairwell and just use my katana and just all the lights on the way down.
All right, so you're taking out the lights as you head down. You're heading just down to the third floor, or going down and
Just-
hitting all the lights.
Just down to the third floor. Oh,
Okay.
Maybe one floor, or not one floor, but like one landing down.
Mhm.
So we got some buffer room.
Okay.
Going into the garden, lights in there too.
Mm-hmm.
If I can.
So you can
Break
take
as
out
many
all
of
the
those as I
lights in
can.
the garden.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, you take out all of the warm lamps above. Are you taking out the UV lights as well?
Probably not. Just any white light lamps, visible light.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you
Oh,
take those
by the
out.
way,
You might have to. You'll probably.
I'm taking the lever with me.
Oh yeah. So you would have to expend rounds for those. Those are out
Can
of
I
reach of
hit
your
them?
katana.
Can I grab him with a hook shot and just rip him down?
Make an attack roll.
All right.
Just add your mobility modifier.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wow, that's okay.
Uh,
8.
you try to get a grip on it, but it's a little precarious of a target.
Ah, dang it! If it was dodging and weaving, I'd have a better luck.
It's got like those hoods around the lamp, so half the shots just kind of dunk, just bounce right off of it.
Eventually, he's like, ding, ding.
So there's
Yeah,
about
alright.
there's about 4 different lamps you would have to hit in the garden area.
We haven't fought anybody that shoots bullets yet. I'm hoping I can last until we hit the arm.
But you do have
You said 4? Oh wait, no, I expended
Individual.
1 shot already. So that's another. Okay, take that dude out. It's another 5 down. So yeah, that was 4 shots for the lamps plus on that guy. All right, and I'm try out this lever.
all right.
And I'm being this door, can I see through it with the fiber optic?
You cannot. It's sealed.
Okay.
So you're just navigating with your dark vision right now. The room goes pitch
I am,
black
yeah.
when you take out those lamps. The UV
Yeah,
lights
so
are
I can
not on
see-
right now.
I can see in grayscale up to 30 feet.
All right.
And anything invisible up to 10.
All right.
if I go completely still in this dark, can I still operate the lever?
What do you mean completely still?
I want to use my action to go invisible.
Yeah, that would work. I mean, what takes you out of invisibility?
Let me double check. I mean, I know the normal stuff like attacks and whatnot. Daylight from darkness, the action becomes invisible. Remain invisible until you make an attack, take damage, or enter an
Enter what?
area of bright light.
Okay. Oh yeah, so you're good. Yeah, you could go ahead and go invisible.
All right, I'm invisible, and then I'm gonna open this door with this, or I'm
Effectively invisible.
operate the lever.
You become one with the shadows.
Ninja.
All right, so you put the circular end of the blue lever into that open joint that's sticking out of the plate in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Comes out upwards, and you could pull it and operate it, which on this vault-like door seems to unlock some mechanisms within.
Mm-hmm.
And
making
the
sure that
door
opens.
just unseals as those mechanisms operate.
I'm
As
making
it
sure
seems
that
like
when the
there's a
door
release of
opens,
pressure.
I'm on the other side, so I don't get bathed in bright light from if that room is lit.
All right. As you open it up, you do see light begin to enter into the room.
Mm-hmm.
So
Open up the rest of the way.
open up the rest of the way.
Do I hear anything?
Perception check.
Minimum 15. Nine. So 15.
Don't hear any movement or anything that might betray some sort of hostile on the other side. Just hear machinery, sounds like. Well, let me bring up the map again.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait like another minute and then call everybody in and see like, all right, I think it's clear. And I'm heading.
All right.
Our Bluetooth still do work, right?
Yeah, as far as short distance communication.
Yeah.
So you enter into a wide chamber in here. It seems to be some sort of storage chamber. You see a number of essentially cold storage units lining the majority of the walls where the harvested herbs are deposited. There is also a sort of little office station off to the side where there's a desk with a computer.
So it's just the cold storage in this computer?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Waiting for everybody to get down here. Gonna take a look at this computer.
All right.
And the shelves are open shelves, there's no locked or there's no like cabinets or anything like that?
Yeah, it's all open. Well, they're like, you have to open doors and whatnot. They're like behind glass.
Yeah, but nothing that I'd have to like pick open.
Yeah, nothing locked. The vault door is what sealed this area.
Just making sure. Yep. Check out this computer while waiting for everybody to team up.
All right. So is everybody making their way back down?
Oh yeah.
Making
Yeah.
their way downstairs. Walking
Yep.
past. Bodies passed. And we're restbound.
Restbound.
Or is Chauncey still asleep on the mezzanine?
Chauncey's getting up.
Chauncey is being dragged by Ilo by a Nenya arm.
Yep. You know what? Yep. That's exactly what's happening.
Or Nuria, I mean. Nuria.
I mean, the arm doesn't exactly have enough strength to move
No,
Chauncey,
there's
but
no moving this boulder.
It's just Enyo talking to Enyo 2, being like, please move him.
If that'll work.
I mean, you'd have to jack into it somehow.
No.
You've done that before.
I mean, yeah, when you
Yeah,
had the
but
proper
I
setup for it,
plugged
it
in.
would be
I
a
don't
little
know
bit
if we
more
could do that,
difficult
like-
in this circumstance.
Does the exosuit have Bluetooth?
No, it was not designed to be interfaced with.
Except for by maintenance.
Does
Mhm.
it have?
Which is why you had to go so
like-
far out of your way to do it before.
Does it have a microphone so that then it could be heard if she spoke out loud?
No, it is not designed to be interfaced or communicated with in any way, shape, or form. It is an inanimate object.
Oh. Okay.
Well, what?
Okay,
Yeah,
you know what?
that AI that you talked to was literally just a manifestation of the code that is operating the machine.
So is this just Neria holding the Enyo arm, holding Chauncey, dragging him? Is that what's going on?
Slap. Wake up.
Gotta wait for your hour to finish first so you can at least get one in.
That's the secret. I'm always awake. I get up ready to shoot something.
All right. Don't quite finish your short rest.
Wait, what?
What?
No, I'm sleeping. No. If I don't get a
Finish
short rest, then I'm-
finish the rest first, and then come down here so you can at least get one.
Yeah. I
right.
thought I already got my short rest in anyway.
No, it
Well,
got kind of
everybody-
You woke
interrupted
up
by
to
all
get
of
the
this.
liquor.
No. After that, we had another.
It has not been an hour since all that has happened.
I'm asleep.
All right, so Chauncey's staying put.
And y'all hauling all of the medical stuff down, or the chemical stuff down here so you can finish all the crafts you made.
Is
Yeah.
Nuria staying with Chauncey,
Yep.
or is...
Just
I guess she would
leave
have
me
to
a-
because she's finishing
Uh,
stuff up there.
Leave me a note. I'm good.
I guess Katara and Nuria both are finishing that dissection and whatnot as this is all going on. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so you all are able to be
that's
there
the
to
short
finish.
rest that I was
Yeah,
thinking about.
that's true. Yeah, you all would be there for the duration of that, and then you all head down after.
well,
So,
how long?
Basically, Kevin would be there.
yeah, Kevin would be the only first person available, but he doesn't have a light, so he has to wait for one of the others.
Oh my!
All right, Mr. G's down
Do
here
you
waiting.
have any inventory?
You know what? No.
Borrow the light.
She just Katara just has an LED on her, and it just pulls it out. She's like,
Yeah.
"Kevin, are you gonna head down?
Yeah.
Here's an LED light.
Yeah, you don't even need it at this point.
I only had it for the Spectre.
All right, I'll take it.
All right.
Better
Like, head
take
on down. We'll be down soon enough once this one wakes up.
All right.
So, Kevin, you reunite with Mr. G first, taking your flashlight down the rather spooky stairwell now that it's all dark and unlit. You do already have that. I was just checking to see if you have the LED torch already. But as you take these precarious steps down, you manage to find your way just one level down to the third floor and reunite with Mr. G in the back storage chamber of the garden floor.
All right. He walks through warily, and then he sees the door open at the end, and he walks in.
Mhm.
He's like, what have we found?
Don't know yet.
As you start clicking through.
Well, while he's doing that, could I investigate the area?
Sure. Searching the area, Kevin, you do find in the storage units 10 green herbs, 5 red herbs,
Oh my god.
5 blue herbs, and 1 first aid spray in cold storage.
Don't use them yet.
I can make so many health tablets.
I don't have the space.
I don't think anybody does,
Just eat it.
because each one takes up one inventory block.
Unless
Is
you have a
there,
medical
is,
pouch.
there a way I could combine one of those on the spot and then use it? One
Well,
green and
yeah,
one
you
red.
have craftsmanship, so
You have you're out of hit dice?
I'm out of hit dice, yes.
Yeah.
Completely.
I can make health tablet.
Oh yeah, that'll probably be enough.
Yeah, so I want to use a green red and make one of those and use it.
all right.
What's the craft for that?
You have craftsmanship, so you auto succeed.
If it's
Oh,
two
yeah.
herbs, you automatically succeed as a scientist.
Alright. What do I roll for that?
Auto succeed.
No, I mean,
The heal.
Oh, for the heal?
Yeah, 44?
No, that's 84.
84.
Plus 84 plus 8.
perfect.
32. Does that bring you out of caution?
Back in the green.
Back
So-
to the green and red.
Better part of an hour later, Chauncey, Nuria, Katara return from upstairs.
Oh,
Guys, we have hit the mother load.
we hit the mother load twice.
So many herbs.
We're just waiting on that third one. That
Wow,
square-shaped
that's-
mother loode.
That's
gonna-
a lot of them.
Remove that X so you guys can see your ice sculpture that's sitting there as your characters do. Beautiful ice sculpture with that frozen mid-spray fountain.
It's glistening in this like the one light source in the room.
Whole area is temperature controlled too, so it's not thawing out anytime soon.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
awesome.
Pippa tosses the LED light back.
She's like, oh no, I don't need it. Keep it. In the event we run into any more dark areas.
I guess so.
Can health tablets be held in med pouches?
Healing item?
Yeah, I would say so.
Healing item?
I would say so.
Oh, yeah. Who's got the med pouches?
Oh, I do.
Can I change my queue list of crafts and put these at the top?
Sure. You're just gonna be sitting in here for a good few hours after.
Yeah, Neri's not gonna get a long rest, but it's okay. She'll get a short rest. She'll get no. I don't need the long rest. I don't have any abilities or anything that
But
would
you will
benefit from
you
a
will
long
gain a
Hit
point of
dice.
fatigue if
Hit dice and
Oh.
fatigue.
if you don't sleep.
I have such a long list of crafts.
You can do it the next day we wake up for a few hours.
Although to be fair, you guys won't be eligible for a long rest until much later in the day. It'll probably be around by the time she's finished with her crafts that you guys will be able to take a long rest again. 'Cause it's been less than 24 hours since your last one, or since you started your last one.
So okay,
You
so
can't do
by
it
the time she's
Yeah.
done with her crafts, that's when everybody would be able to take a long rest.
Yeah, roundabouts. Yeah, because then it'd be pushing into evening.
Oh, perfect. Yo, go
We
do your
got
crafts.
tons of herbies though, right?
Yeah, this storage unit still has
And a first aid.
9 greens left, 4 reds,
Let me snag
5
that
blues.
first aid up.
Come and
I'm
get
getting
it.
first hit him with that first
Katara,
aid.
you craft the herbs together, and then I'll turn them into health tablets.
I could use it. Just saying, I'm hurting.
Do you want to use the first aid now?
How much does it give?
It's 10d4 plus 20. I have one in my pouch.
You beefy boys
But-
need it.
I have a first aid in my
I
pouch.
am 132 down currently,
Yeah, you beefy boys need it.
and
Do it, use it.
I have no.
All right,
hit
yeah,
dice
go ahead,
to
yeah.
spend until we take our long rest.
Yep.
Then just like grab that, just
Ooh,
drink
what's
it.
this? I use it like hairspray.
I don't think
Drink
it's supposed to drink it.
Like
It's the new Coca-Cola.
the hair that burned off in the volatile reaction grows back. It's like
It's like a mint spray. Just
It was 10
10
D4 plus 20.
Yeah.
Let's see how I want to see the bar shoot.
I know, I'm watching the bar.
Oh, no.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Wow,
Okay.
nice.
that's better
good.
than any of my heals.
That's really
Got some good fours in there.
It's a lot higher than average.
Yeah.
It's still not that good.
It's a lot higher than average.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot higher than average.
Higher.
I'm exactly 100.
What's that? Hell yeah.
Exactly on the money. I still have 84 to go. I'd really like to heal up. I have this feeling like
I'll try. I'm
once I get a
trying.
nap,
All right,
once
so
I get
what?
a long nap in,
Katara's in charge
There
of
we go.
mixing the together duty.
Okay, hold up.
Kevin
All
can
right.
help too if he wants.
All right, hold on. So we have.
Chauncey's just
So
not
Kevin-
gonna feed you.
So Kevin already took a green and a red.
Mhm.
So that means how many you said there were? There's
There's 9
green
greens left,
now, right?
4 reds, 5 blues. Bear in mind, red, green, blue makes a pretty potent combination
Yes.
for
Yeah.
mid-combat.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe make 2 of
and
those.
there's no yellows in here at all, or
No.
Big ol'
Okay.
patch
No one
right
got a
outside.
level up.
All right, so we have 9 greens, 5 blues, 4 reds. Whew.
I think
know
craft
I know
2.
this sounds
Let's
weird,
do
but you
2.
said it's going to be hours, right? Until we're allowed to take the long rest?
Hmm.
So we get benefits of a long
It's-
rest.
Yeah.
Well, no. Hours until we're able to even take it.
Well,
Yeah,
you can
before we get the benefits
Yeah,
of
you
it.
can take it, but you just
we can't not do anything.
yeah, you can
We just
you
don't
can
get any
take a
benefits.
nap, yeah, but you wouldn't get any mechanical benefits unless you wait until that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so I'll still be able to get, like, the hit dice back, but I won't.
No, that's the
No,
benefits
no,
of
that's
it.
the mechanical
Okay.
benefits we're talking about. You wouldn't be
So-
able to get that unless you wait.
If you're going to craft now, and you're going to be taking hours of crafting time, I think this is a perfect opportunity for Chauncey to go strut around and punch some things, and then whenever we take a long rest, I can get my hit dice back, and when we wake back up, I'll take a short rest and spend those hit dice.
All right. So if anything, we'll make 2 of the green, red, blues. Actually, no, we can make 3 of them.
Those will take crafting check though, because you don't have any medics.
We don't have any medics in here.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm a medic. No.
But you've got medical proficiency, right?
I have medical proficiency.
Yeah, so
I
in that
give
case,
wounds. Is that
you
close
can you can use that bonus for the craft, and it's a DC 10.
Oh yeah, please. So if anything,
The only way I could fail this is in that one.
I mean,
So
too
that
bad
would
you couldn't
take-
use Inyo mod to help you mix stuff.
User is like a whisk.
She's stabilizing you.
So, okay, so, what
so do we? So the question is, do we want to make 2 or 3 of them?
Of the red, green, blues?
Yes.
3.
Okay.
Okay, 3 it is.
That will be yes.
And
that'll be
that
3.
leaves us
How are we
what
carrying
remaining?
all of this?
What's that leave us remaining, though?
That would leave us with. So after that, that would leave us with 6 greens, 1 red, and 2 blues.
no 6 greens, 2 reds, right?
2.
No, because
Wait, no, 3. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
using 3
3,
right
yeah,
now,
3
right?
left.
Yeah.
So we can actually make a total of 5 red, green, blues, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but how are we going to carry all that? Because
Well,
I
you can
have
make a total
the
of
pouch
4.
room. Because I have the pouch room to hold at least 2 of them.
I have the pocket space to hold.
And I don't think we need all red, green, blues in case we just need like a smaller heal.
Well, I don't just want to make 1. But
What I'm thinking, though.
And then I
is-
think Mr. G has Nuria's med pouch.
yes.
Oh, I do have a med pouch. I do.
Because I have a first aid spray in
4
mine,
slots.
and then
And if I make health tablets, those stack 20. Yeah, those stack 20. which would make it a lot easier to carry the green herbs because they're tablets. So I think 3 red, green, blues, 1 red, green, and then the rest greens go to the health tablets.
Yeah. Let's go through and do that.
Well, let's just see if I succeed for. God damn it! No!
That's a lot of ones for this game.
That's the only way I can fail.
That's one of them that failed.
So one of them fails.
Oh my god. More inventory, I guess. I swear. Yay, good. Can I get the one that I failed back?
Unfortunately, the number, it's not quite like crafting. The number, or proper item crafting, the number of herbs still remains the same that are in play here. But you do get a pretty super green-red mixed very cleanly.
No. Yeah, this is success.
You have 2 green,
So
red,
we got
green,
2
blue
out of 3.
Alright, so we got 2 out of the 3, so that's fine. Which leaves us with it's 5, 4, 3. So that leaves us with 6 greens left now. 1 red still, and
I can turn all those bad
3
boys
blues.
into health tablets.
Alright, so
Or if we should mix 1 red, 1 green.
Mm-hmm.
The red, green, and then the rest can go to health tablets.
Okay.
Because
So we'll
you
have...
can use health tablets on a bonus action. That's the main reason I want to make these.
True. So that would leave us with 5 greens left, no more reds after. And then just 3 blues.
So it's a DC 5, so I automatically succeed all of these, right?
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah,
you're just
so I could
using... Wait, so what were you using? 1 red-green mix?
No, we're using the 5 green herbs left
Okay. Gotcha. So there's 1
for the
green
health
herb.
tablet. So there's 1 green, 1 red mix,
2
and then
2 triples.
2 triples, and then the rest of the green herbs go to health tablets.
Okay, so you're using all 6 of the remaining green herbs to do health tablets.
I thought it was
Isn't
5.
it 5?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah, it's 5 left.
Because 1 for Kevin, and then 3 for the green-red mixes.
Yeah.
Then what was the other
And
one
then
for?
1
green
for the
plus
other red.
Oh, you did another green-red?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, then
And
there
the
would be
rest
5 left.
green.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And that would be 10 health tablet. Yeah, 10 health tablet.
Nice.
And they stack up to 20, so who wants to hold those?
So we have...
I can hold them for now.
They can
The
be
med
held
pouch.
in the med pouch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll keep it in the med patch for now. 10 out of 20.
10 out of 20.
Health tablets.
Yeah.
So I've got... Okay, so in my first aid pouch, I have first aid, 1 of the green, red, blues. I can take the other green, red, blue, or I can get the... Actually, yeah. I can take the... Actually, no, I think I can get them all, never mind. Because that's what stacks up to 4, right?
For
It's like stacked up the 4... it's 4 blocks of... 4 blocks of healing items in a pouch, right?
yes.
Okay, so 1 first aid, 1 green blue. I could do another green blue, or green blue, green red blue, and then green red. That would be all 4 of my stuff then.
Mhm.
And then G can hold health tablets.
Yep, cool. Which leaves only 3 blues left for whoever wants to put those in, which could be G.
What's up? Well, it'd be 2 blues left because you did 3 green, red, blue mixes, right?
Oh yeah.
So there's 2 blue herbs left, is all that remains.
Yep.
And G can hold those.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I've got 3 slots open in the med pouch.
Yep. All 4 of mine
yeah.
are used up in the med pouch.
All right, so you guys actually managed to clear out the entire storage.
All right, so
Heck
what all we have?
yeah.
What's in
I'm back, sorry.
G's med patch? You just gave him.
G has 2 blue herbs and 10 health tablets.
And the herbs don't stack, so blue.
Yeah,
the
don't
2 blue
stack.
can
They
take
don't
2
stack.
individual slots.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 2 blues and the 10 or 10 tablets.
Yeah.
We did
Got it.
it.
I'm still typing away.
So meanwhile, Mr. G, as you're examining this computer, you find mostly...
He just puts a bag on the desk.
Nereus is filling it up.
Yeah. Just montage style, you have a tripoded shot on just Mr. G at the desk and just jump cutting every once in a while throughout the hour, and the bag just slowly gets more and more piled up. As he's just slaving away on this computer. So looking at the monitor and clicking through the files, you find that it mostly seems to be records for the herb storage of this garden. So keeping a neat ledger of everything that's gone through, how production is going, how the farm, the garden is producing, things of that nature, progress reports. That's
I'm updating their inventory.
just clearing it all out. Reducing to 0.
Yep.
So that's the bulk of it. However, you do find a few files on some of the BOWs that were deployed on this level. Find the IVs, of course, but nothing you guys don't really already know. Just standard issue Umbrella BOW. There is one that seems... that one's like a standard, reporting dossier type thing, but one of them seems to be a bit of a kind of journal-style entry on Yatevio. And I suppose if anybody wants to do a dramatic reading of it, I'll go ahead and put that in for everybody.
I can read it out loud really quick. Let me zoom in.
Enhance.
Zoom in and enhance.
Oh man, the zooming on Roll20 is weird. Okay. I'm just gonna read it. I don't know if I can read as G for that long. Despite my innumerable conflicts with Albert, I always got along rather well with the other Wesker working at Umbrella. What? Alex had a brilliant mind and a more personable demeanor, at least as far as I could tell. Perhaps we could have grown into a similar enmity had I spent as much time with her as I did Albert. For all the successes of Project Samson and Archaea, my constant proximity with him quickly devolved the Arclay cabin facility into a toxic work environment that I have few fond memories. Nonetheless, I often wonder what could have been had I been more open with Alec. I suppose there's little point in reminiscing on the hypothetical. Spencer took her as his protege, and that was the last I saw of her. What matters now is the practical signs of that friendship. She considered her designs for T-virus-based oh my gosh. I need to zoom this up even more. Okay. Sorry about that. She considered her designs for a T-virus-based carnivorous plant her magnum opus, early days. It was codenamed Project Yatevio. In one of our encounters around 1977, or 1997. I'm tired, guys. She agreed to lend me those designs in exchange for my data on Aiden's blood. I do not know if Umbrella ever brought it to fruition, but these designs in an ample study of T-virus, ample supply of T-virus, I should now be more than capable of deploying this bioorganic trap to guard our herb supply. We will see how testing goes. Who would have thought that all these years later we would have both become fugitives of Spencer and independent bioweapon innovators. A kindred spirit indeed. I do wonder where she is now. Elliot Walker, PhD. Who the hell is Alex?
Does he say that out loud?
Shrug. There's more Weskers? These freaking...
Does the BSAA know about Alex?
Make a history check.
I didn't say of Chauncey.
I was gonna say Katara. I was gonna say Katara would have probably only heard of Albert in passing, right?
I'll say you can make a history
Probably.
check as well. Chauncey and Katara.
Oh, you... this is sad. That's way, please.
No clue.
There's a lot of crits today for some reason.
Yeah.
On both ends.
There's a wide swing.
There's one.
Door is open.
Once,
21.
20.
Yeah, you would, again, mostly be familiar with Albert Wesker. The name Alex does ring a bell. You do know he might have had some distant family or something, whatever the rumor might have been within the company. But you never crossed paths with her. She wasn't really based too much out of Raccoon City. But you would be aware that there were possibly at least one other within the company that bore the surname of Wesker.
So
I mean, she's just like,
good.
she's just like, I can't really give you like a concrete answer. I've heard about Albert in passing. Alex is more of at least a distant rumor that there was a family member, but I've never crossed paths with an Alex.
Well, we're gonna need more volcanoes for all these Weskers.
So now, would the BSAA know about these other Weskers?
You don't know.
I don't know, but I mean, do I know? Out of character, do I know?
I'm not saying.
Chauncey remembers Alex and Albert for future purposes.
Chauncey will remember that.
Yeah, Chauncey will remember this. That he didn't remember anything. Correct.
So with that, Nuria sets in to finish her long day of crafts that will pretty much take like the next 6 or 7 hours.
Get over here. Get over here. I'll block the door.
She's gonna be
Yeah,
right there.
Does anyone just want to mess around with Enyo? Because I think her like, what's it? I'm forgetting what you call them. But considering she still has 3 out of 3 things, does someone just want to mess around with her? Because she's going to reset it in the next day anyway.
Hand her over to me really quick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we could bust some caps real quick because like, I get Vanguard back in the morning.
Yeah, I can. I was gonna go and recon.
Go for it. Take Enyo.
I was gonna do this while they were doing their craft.
All right, yeah, so that's good. Yeah, because that's going to be like the next 7 or 8 hours actually for Nuria with the number of crafts she did. So yeah, we'll say by the time evening rolls around, she'll be getting it done. But yeah, Nuria, you're going to be locked in this room for a while, but it does seem to be a secure area for now.
Be in here.
All right, Katara, you'll stay.
Yeah, Katara's
bodyguard.
Yeah,
Katara.
I don't want to be jobist, but all scientific kind of people stay here. All gunsy kind of people come forward.
Kevin's like somewhere in the
middle. He's more scientist. Oh, by the way, let me grab that magnum right quick. No, I'm kidding.
He actually does have more levels than Survivor now.
Yeah, he's good. But
I'm actually breaking even.
Oh, are you breaking even? Is that what it was? Yeah, you're 6 and 6.
Oh wow.
But no, yeah,
Nice.
Chauncey will want to go back up and check out those cells that those metal doors.
All right.
I'm gonna have Kevin come along too.
I mean,
Who's taking Enyo? I feel like one of you guys should take Enyo.
I'll take
Yeah.
Inyo and I'll toss Inyo around.
You have a free inventory spot?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I gave up a lot of inventory space leading into this building.
All right.
So, new mod it is. And just to mod it up, I'm going to attach it to the saw.
All right. So you've got that. So, with that, you attach the Enyo mod to
Oh, there's two Chauncey's
the
here.
machine gun.
Oh yeah.
It's his clone
I don't know. Wait, where is the other guy at?
by the door.
By the door.
It's Charles.
yeah,
It's
hey.
Charles. Unless they were quadruplets.
I mean,
Oh no.
sextuplets. We just don't know the other three. They're all just egos.
It's Clancy.
Clancy Johnson. Thank you.
Clancy Clancy was my father.
Y'all arm
Clancy
up,
flower.
attach the Enyo mod, and go your separate ways, leaving the scientists behind to their crafts as you go out to do a little bit of scouting. That's going to be where we end tonight's session. So,
All right.
thank you all very much for watching. And all the hydration and subscriptions, of course, for keeping the train going. Amazing. And thanks, of course, for
Kinda
heading out,
crazy.
as usual, Brenny the Dragon Slayer. Yeah, pretty crazy. So, as the ascent continues, and a little bit of backpedaling here and there, we'll see where this goes from here. Until next time.
That's just.
What was it?
I was gonna say that's just rush shenanigans. Like I've never seen mid dungeon rest go well, smooth.
It
Yeah.
hasn't even finished.
Technically,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
it's still a long sequence of resting. Oh man, we're about to get super hydrated. All right. Well, until next time, we'll see you all later. Peace. Squared. Have a good night. God bless.
Good night, sweet dreams. All of the good things.
Thank you.